This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane, Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
No.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. At Sloan's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloan Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-NATE.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, AK aka the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Lollipop blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, zero transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Or the Bitcoin, yeah! Woo! Good morning, boys and girls. Bitcoin hit 45. It's in 44s right now, but man, already hit like 45 and a half. Blowing up. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. Don't have to use my AK. Oh, man. Are you in a good mood? I'm in a good mood. I told you I wasn't dropping a 20 like some idiots out there that have no idea, no concept of what's going on. But anyway, it's a beautiful thing as we watch Bitcoin soar. Let's see if during this show it goes over 45 and starts to stay at 45. That is a monster move. Anyway, welcome aboard, boys and girls, on a beautiful Tuesday. It's the first day of March. How about that? 2 months have gone by already in this first part of the year. It's just crazy, man. We're headed into the end of the first quarter of the year here with the month of March, man. And we get closer and closer now to the NFL draft. We are just under 2 months away. And on April 28th or through the 30th, we're going to be we'll broadcast on the 27th from Tommy Rockers because we'll pull in on the 26th and get everything ready, test the equipment, all that. And then the 27th, we got to do a show. It's the Wednesday before the draft. It's not like I know that Sean's going to just want to be hitting buffet after buffet, but it's not what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I know what Sean's going to do. Blackjack table, little buffet, then maybe a little craps table, then maybe a little buffet, then maybe a little more buffet, and then we go to like I don't know. Where are we going, Sean? Pinball Hall of Fame? Are you a Pinball Hall of Fame guy? Do you like old arcade machines, Space Invaders, things like that? You into that?
Yeah, I'm into that. I can do that.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Little Pong.
You know what I found out yesterday is after you leave, because I'm staying in Vegas for a couple days after you leave. And a couple days is 5. Anyway, so my daughter's actually coming over to Vegas too, so I'll be able to hang out a couple days with my daughter too. Yeah, I know. It's actually really, really cool. She goes, "Wow, I thought you were gone," because she gets there right after the draft. But obviously, I'm staying for business purposes in Vegas. Yes, it is for business purposes. Well, business is fun because obviously Vegas is always fun, but I am the thing is I was flying to Vegas anyways, May 4th for Biffy Clyro. So, what am I going to do? Fly back on the 1st to then fly back on the 4th? No, dude, I'll just stay there for a couple days and that's it. So we rented a house, so I have that house for like 8 days, I think it is, 9 days or whatever it is that I'm going to be in Vegas. So we'll be out there and hanging out and having some fun. And as you can see on the billboard there, Tommy Rockers, baby. We're going to be at Tommy Rockers. Tommy is going to join us tomorrow, the Mojave Beach in Las Vegas. So come on out and join us. That will be your home for all of you Dolphin fans all around the world, okay? So while you're taking a break from the craziness, come to Tommy Rockers and hang out with all your other Dolphin fans. You want to watch the draft over at Tommy Rockers with us? We got TVs everywhere. They've got what's it called? What are those machines called? Damn it, what are they called? The ones at Hialeah Park? What are they called? You know what I'm talking about. Whatever. Anyways, so they've got all kinds of slot machines. There you go. Damn it. Anyway, so they got slot machines, all kinds of stuff. So Tommy Rockers is about 300 fans easily can fit in there. So it's a big ass bar. It's a Dolphins bar. Okay, so come on over, man. So if you're in Vegas during the draft, we're going to be broadcasting all 3 days, complete days, from the first pick of the Dolphins to the last. Well, from the first pick of the draft to the last pick of the Dolphins. Okay. Whenever the Dolphins make their last pick, then we will wrap it up at that point, because I'm sure it's going to be a lot of hours that we're going to be on. Obviously, we're going to have a slew of guests too. Okay. A ton of guests. All of our insiders will be taking part throughout those 3 days, obviously. So we'll have some fun with all of that. Okay. How about that? All right. Ian from Brooklyn says, all this buffet talk, LOL. Well, I mean, gotta hit some buffets. Nothing wrong with that. By the way, last night was the debut of Sean Stanley, as we promised, doing some wrestling talk. It was the because you are much more educated in wrestling than I am. There we go. It's hard for him to get on the air, but eventually, once he gets on the air, he'll explain it. He's trying. There you go.
Oh, no,
Okay.
you're freezing up a little bit.
No idea. Maybe they're picking it up. Maybe they're not. Okay. Now it looks like I'm back because we were freezing. All right. Are you ready to talk now? Since it looks like I'm unfrozen now, Sean. So yesterday you had your debut wrestling show. And what was it?
It was the Raw recap, which turned into about an hour and a half of wrestling talk with the chat board.
Really? Wow. That's awesome. How active was the chat board yesterday?
It was pretty active. It was more active than past wrestling shows I've done. There was good support there, and we had fun talking wrestling.
I like it. Did they drop a super chat or two for you there during the?
There was Dougie. Dougie was in there. He dropped the super chat.
There you go.
There were a few super chats dropped. I appreciate everybody. There was Ken Sean was on there. A few of the normal Steve Chapman jumped in for a moment. Troy Ortiz, some of them, they jumped in, not wrestling fans or anything like that, just jumped in for a little support and then to say hi. So it was good.
I like it.
And we're going to do it again tonight at 10 o'clock.
Tonight at 10 o'clock again?
Tonight at 10 o'clock, yes.
Look at that. So for you wrestling nuts, you got it now, dude. You got the guy. So, and I love that you guys were supporting him. That is actually very cool. I'll check it out tonight because I'll be completely honest. I had no idea it was on last night. None. Now I know it's going to be on. Now I'll be ready. Actually.
Well, as you've taught me, it's got to be consistent, right? If we tell them we're going to be there, we need to be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So as soon as NXT ends, we'll go live. This one will not be that long. I did ramble a little bit on some things yesterday, so I'll try to, box it in a little bit better today. And as we go on, because again, we're going to do the recap shows after each show. And then we're going to do the Wednesday on right after you go off the air. We're going to take over for about a half hour or so. So a lot of content coming your way, pro wrestling wise.
That's it. And we're adding more and more. Remember, in 2 weeks, we will add Anthony Chang to the mix. So we will have another Heat Insider. Next week, our hockey reports start with George Richards and David Dwork. So we will have a couple of Panther insiders. Both Panther insiders are locked in here to the show. So you're going to have all the insight on all the sports, man, pretty much. By the way, I got to mention something locally because I've been a big supporter of his since he got here to this town. A young man that I know works his ass off and does a really good job, and a guy that I respect a lot in this business. Franco Panizo got hired by the South Florida Sun Sentinel, and I know that he's writing for high school, covering high school sports also. So it's his first full-time gig in a major paper, and I'm really, really happy for him. He has paid his dues. I hope I would imagine he's also doing Inter-Miami coverage for the South Florida Sun Sentinel because he knows his stuff, man. He's really, really good. And so congratulations to Franco. I've watched this young man grind every single day. Obviously, I've tried to do my part to help him out and expose him to people out there so they know who he is. We did it at Onside. I've done it on my show. He deserves this and more. So congratulations to you, Franco, man. It's nice to see, good people and people that work hard, get what they deserve at times. Because boy, Lord knows sometimes it happens a lot. People get screwed in this world, and they don't get helped the way they should be helped, and so it's nice to see good things happen to people like Franco Panizo. So really happy for him and his new gig. I'm sure we'll have him on hopefully maybe sometime next week or this week or something like that. We'll get him on and we'll talk, but I just wanted to mention it publicly. Really happy for him. Congratulations. And the Sentinel needed it anyways after they lost Kobe, who went to the Orlando Sentinel, and he's doing a really good job, by the way. I'm following Kobe Price doing his thing, covering the Orlando Magic over there for the Orlando Sentinel. That's actually a really good gig, even though the Magic don't do their part, but because that town doesn't have a lot of pro teams, they care about the Magic because they only have a couple of pro teams around there. So, in that area. So that's actually a really good gig for him. Hopefully one day the Magic will do their part and put together a decent team so all the people that cover the Magic can have a little fun. But anyway, good stuff there. Nice to see Franco Panizo moving up, man. Well deserved. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Good for Franco. I remember when he first started at Soccer by Ives. Yes. I agree. Good guy. Jose says, Big O, I can say something. After last night, the Nets, F the Bucks, F everyone. The Miami Heat are winning the championship. Hashtag Heat culture. Last night was a lot of fun to watch them dismantle the Bulls. And I know the Bulls are missing a couple guys. Miami's missing Kyle Lowry. I don't count Oladipo out. And to me, the Markieff Morris thing, we kind of make it more than what it really is. He's a nice little role player, but it's not like, oh, my God, they're missing Markieff Morris. You know what I'm saying? Markieff is out. Not being missed. He's out. Okay? He's back, adds a little depth, but, and Lowry's the guy they were missing. Okay? Now, if Depot ever comes back, it becomes like a trade that you just made. Really, because that's something you never had. So if you actually have it now, it's the first time ever. So they had a couple guys out also. But the Bulls aren't better than Miami. They're not more experienced than Miami. Miami has the veterans, has the experience, has the success. And while Ira made exceptional points when I said Spo should be coach of the year, and he made great points for a couple of coaches, including last night's coach, Billy Donovan, and well-deserved, and Ira was 1,000% right. You can make arguments for them. I'm still giving it to Spo, but he's right. If Donovan wins it, it's not like you can be insulted by it. He's done a marvelous job with that team, but they're unproven. They've never done anything. They've never accomplished anything. There was a Bulls fan yesterday that reached out to me on Twitter. So, this is disgraceful for my Bulls to lose. And I said, dude, there's no embarrassment here. Your Bulls are excellent. They're a really good team, dude. But Miami's a better franchise, period, top to bottom. That's all. Right now, the Miami franchise is way better than Chicago. Ownership, coaching, players, experience, top to bottom. They're the better team. Miami should have won yesterday. That's all. By the way, that Caleb Martin dunk, that was nice. And by the way, Jimmy Butler, a couple of those passes in the paint to other guys where he could have taken shots and he didn't. Just, and I'll get into that in a bit. But last night was a lot of fun because it's just like my man just put now, Jose Lucas. There's a level of professionalism that is met every night by the Miami Heat. And whether it's Gabe Vincent or Max Strus, of course you're going to get it from Butler. Of course you're going to get it from Bam. But it shows you, young, experienced, it doesn't matter, dude. Starter, bench player, last guy off the bench, everybody plays hard. Everybody's committed. It's just a pleasure to watch. The commitment on the offensive end, the commitment on the defensive end. And I'm with you, Jose. I have felt like this already for a little while now. I mean, I've gone through stages because as you watch the season develop, I thought, okay, they could challenge for the Eastern Conference title. Maybe they sneak into the finals, but that's about it. And then I start watching this team, and I'm going, well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. They just developed depth now. No. Now I'm watching the landscape. No. They can win the title. Golden State, there's a couple teams out west that are pretty good. I'm not going to tell you that those teams are going to handily beat Miami. Miami can beat anybody in the NBA in a 7-game series. As deep as they are, as disciplined as they are, as defensive-minded as they are from top to bottom, except for maybe Duncan. I mean, no, I don't know if there's a better team overall. You might have a couple of better offenses, but I don't know about a better team. So I'm with you. I think the Heat have a marvelous chance to win the entire thing this year. They need what they didn't get in the bubble, the break. Got to stay away from the injuries. And let me tell you, if somehow or another Oladipo comes back at 75 or 80%, oh my God. It's going to be fun. And the best part, here's the best part about all of this with Oladipo. All right, let's get into this. The Miami Heat are so good. They're so deep right now. They're so well coached. And they're in such a great spot right now. They're 20 games above 500 at 41-21. You know what's the best part about all of this? There's no rush for Oladipo. There's no desperation for Oladipo. The team, the way it's constructed right now, can win the title. I'm not saying you need Oladipo to win. You add Oladipo, you just increased your chances to win. But that's the beauty now. You're not a team that's desperate, and you're not a borderline playoff team or a 7 or 8 seed, and you desperately need the jolt of Depot to shoot you back up to being a 3 or 4 seed or a 2 seed if, once you get in the playoffs. No. You're not also in the middle of a season where you are in the 9th seed, and now you get Depot so you can make a run in the second half of the season to try to climb up to the 5th seed. No. You're the top seed. And you can now bring Oladipo along nice and slowly. You can give him 5 minutes. Then you can give him 7 minutes. Then you can give him 12. And you can then play him on a blowout like last night. You have the luxury now of treating Oladipo like a rookie that's never played. Now, you're going to ease him like that, but obviously it's a guy that's got a ton of experience. But that's the beauty of all of this. There nothing needs to be forced. There's no pressure on him either. It's not like he's coming back and they're looking at him to be a savior. No. Take your time, kid. Relax. Oladipo, Victor, the most important thing is you come back strong, healthy, and consistent. And confident, by the way. Very important that he comes back confident. So if you get a confident and comfortable and healthy Oladipo, and you get to bring him back slowly, my Lord, are you kidding me? So these are the things that are developing for the Miami Heat that puts them in just a marvelous position going into the postseason. And it's not a matter of how many games will it take to get him acclimated, because it's not like you're not depending on him. He is there to complement, so you will ease him in. And right now, as Ira was writing about Gabe Vincent and company, these young guys, I'll tell you this. I want Oladipo to come back. I hope he comes back healthy. It'll be a great addition. But it's not like I want to see less of Caleb Martin or Gabe Vincent here. Or Max Strus, man. Hitting threes, got the block last night. I mean, it's a fun team to watch, dude. And you know Caleb Martin is not even 100%. You can tell. And yet he's still out there, helping you in every way possible. Like the guys we're talking about. The other night, he didn't score much, but he helps out in every other area. I love that kid. I mean, Caleb Martin is one of the best steals off the street in years for an NBA team. Because it just looks like that kid's going to grow into a hell of a player, doesn't it? I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking at in Caleb Martin, dude. I'm looking at a guy that could turn into, maybe even an all-star at one point. I'm not telling you superstar or anything like that, but he excels everywhere. Offense, defense, all of that. So when Depot comes back, you also have to kind of balance it because Gabe Vincent has earned his playing time. Max Strus has earned his playing time. Caleb Martin earned his playing time. Those guys should not be penalized because of the return of Oladipo, which is a beautiful problem to have if you're the Miami Heat, because you don't need to put the weight of the world on Depot. And that's everything right now for him. Ease him in, get his confidence back, get his mojo back, get his edge back. Because that's what Oladipo lost. With the injuries, the lack of confidence, he lost his edge. And right now, he's going to join a team that has an edge. I mean, if you didn't watch it last night, that's a team with an edge, the Miami Heat. So it's a beautiful thing, man, to watch what's going on with Miami and how they dismantled the Bulls last night. That was pretty awesome, man. Big O, the Heat's communication on the court is exceptional, and their effort and intensity on every possession is what makes the difference. We have some dogs. Oh, yeah. I'm with you there, man. I'm with you there. Greater good. Max Strus was balling last night. Oh, yeah. It's for them to find Gabe Vincent and Max Strus and Caleb Martin. Your scouting department is sick. And then, you're saving too. It's crazy, man. Jason says we were dunking all over them last night. That Martin slam was sweet. Yeah. That Martin slam was nasty. And then the timeout after, about a minute later, then you catch that towards the end when he's walking to his teammates and he's all that. He was in, man. That was fun. This postseason is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to adding Anthony Chang next week. So we've got basketball talk every day of the week. And eventually we're going to have a basketball roundtable show with all the guys. I'm working on all of that. We're going to work on all of those aspects. We're going to have a football roundtable. We're going to have a basketball roundtable. We're working on Canes one, too. I'm working on several shows where we're going to be able to expand the programming here and at different times. You're going to have more programming in different hours of the day. Some of the stuff we're adding will be in drive time. So we will have some other stuff in the afternoon also for all of you. Okay. So it's going to continue to expand. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to continue to grow and build what the South Florida sports fans need, man. They need a platform where they can get great people to talk to and get great insight, and like Joe Shad coming up now. And, you need things like that. It's not provided. And, last night, Sean was recapping the wrestling event. We'll be at the draft next month. Next month now I can say, for 3 straight days. Nobody's going to do that locally. Nobody's going to cover the draft from beginning to end. And wait till we announce something also next week. So not only are we adding George Richards and David Dwork as insiders for hockey. Not only are we adding Anthony Chang in 2 weeks, but we're also going to start adding other elements to the program that I can't announce yet because it hasn't been finalized, but it's coming. It's coming. And we're working on all kinds of stuff. I seem to be running out of the house or wherever I'm at broadcasting and going to a meeting after every day. So it's a good thing. There's no doubt about that. Big O, look at the middle linebacker called Chad Muma from Wyoming, a 3-down guy, sideline to sideline, great tackler, late first round projection, reminds me of Luke Kuechly, with or without the concussions. Anyway, so Big O, Duncan stealing money this season. Yeah, he sucked in last night. Did you notice something last night? Anybody notice a little something last night in the Heat game? A little storyline within the story. Max Strus played 23 minutes. Duncan Robinson played 22. Start looking at that. Start tracking that. How many minutes has the tide started turning? Has Eric Spoelstra said, enough's enough? I get it. We gave you the big contract, but I got some young guys that are hungry. You see that block by Max Strus last night? You ever going to get that from Duncan? No. So I've talked about this with Ira in his segments. Is there a moment where you start going, well, we got to start playing some of these other guys if Duncan's going to be unreliable? And last night, by the way, he didn't shoot poorly. Duncan was 3 of 8 from 3-point range. So, it's not like he was terrible, but I did laugh last night when he makes that one and he's all pumped. And I'm like, dude, you sucked all year. They gave you $95 million. Let's go. Don't be celebrating 1 3 that you make. Start nailing threes like you normally do. So, yeah, Duncan Robinson is a very frustrating individual right now. But the beauty is that he can look to the bench and say, oh, you're struggling? We got Strus. Oh, you're struggling? We got Vincent. Oh, you're struggling? We got Caleb Martin. So you got other guys that can bail you out, and some of them are actually more complete players than Duncan because Caleb Martin is 1,000 times better the basketball player than Duncan Robinson. Listen to me. I didn't say he was a better shooter. Okay? I said he's the better basketball player because Caleb Martin does it all on the court, whereas Duncan Robinson can do one thing and one thing only. And if he's not doing that one thing on a high level, he is a negative for your basketball team. All right, let's get ready to talk a little Miami Dolphins football. Joe Shad in our AmericanDreamLending.com Miami Dolphins report. That's next.
Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending Report.
Oh, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Joe Shad. You are in Indianapolis, correct?
Yeah, Big O. I decided to get a head start and fly in last night so that I wouldn't have to get up too early this morning. I'm not an early riser. I cannot take the 6:30 a.m. flights.
Not an early riser. So does that mean you stay up late at night? Is that you're one of those dudes too?
No, I'm like 80 years old. I try to get a ton of sleep.
Oh, wow. You're one of those. Okay, I see. As you can tell, I get none.
Yeah, honestly, I try to go to sleep at 12 a.m. and get up if possible, at like 8:30.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. If I had 6 hours, that's like a lot for me. That's like I hibernated practically if I slept for 6 hours, man. All right, so I have a hard time believing a lot of stuff that comes out of this website. So it's up, I'll leave it to you. Your thoughts on the whole Sean Payton story and Tom Brady story that came out. How much of that do you believe?
Well, on Sean Payton, it makes all the sense in the world that the Dolphins would check in to see if Sean Payton, who is a star coach, had an interest in coaching in Miami, and whether or not the Saints would actually let him go at a reasonable price, a couple of 2s, a 1. I don't think that the Dolphins would be in a position to go crazy and offer multiple 1s or something. So that is not a stunning report. I certainly don't believe that Tom Brady was likely at any point to play quarterback for the Miami Dolphins this season. But would he have an interest in potentially joining the ownership group? Sure, why not? He clearly enjoys South Florida. His wife enjoys South Florida. It's certainly possible. Stephen Ross wanted Tom Brady, obviously, to be his quarterback because of the star factor. But to play quarterback for the Dolphins, I don't think at this point.
Yeah, no, and to me, Sean Payton would have. Why would he come here to coach Brady for a year, and then what? So if he would come here, it's to coach Tua, because if you coach Breeze, then you figure, okay, you can figure out Tua and do the right things and build the right way around him.
No, he wasn't coming. He wasn't coming to coach Tua. If he was coming, it was for an elite, established, proven quarterback. He was tired of dealing with Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian and those guys. If he was if and when he coaches again, it'll obviously be at a place that has a proven elite Pro Bowl type quarterback. I don't think he would have come here to coach Tua. Well,
that's your opinion because you've given up on Tua. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's my opinion. If Sean Payton were to have come to the Dolphins, that you would have wanted a veteran like Tom Brady. That is true. That is my opinion.
Yeah, see, I would have thought the other way around. I think he would have wanted a young quarterback so he doesn't have that problem a year from now. That would make no sense for him to come here. Plus, you got to put all the pieces together within a season, an off season, because it's not like you have years to build. You got to try to build and win it right away. And that would be a tall order for the Dolphins, considering you have to give up cap space to sign Brady, and you got to give up picks in order to acquire Sean Payton, which would hurt your rebuild also. That's why, to me, that story from the get-go just –
listen, if the Dolphins were to add –
it's a BS story. It's a BS story you throw out there that you can't prove or unprove. And in the end, nobody's going to care enough to prove it or unprove it anyway. So it'll be out there, it'll be a headline, and then it'll be a talking point like we are doing, and then it'll go away.
Well, I mean, at some point, Sean Payton will probably say on some podcast or something that, it was true, the Dolphins expressed interest. I mean, and then so that'll probably be confirmed. I mean, but okay. I mean, the Dolphins may have expressed interest in other coaches who were not realistic, but they were at least checking in on. But listen, the Dolphins are not that far away if they were to add a quarterback like a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. That would change the entire complexion of the organization. All of a sudden, you would be like, all right, what running back do we add? What 2 or 3 veteran offensive linemen do we add?
Wait a minute. That's not what you just said. You said if they add the quarterback, then they're right there. Then you added linemen and you added running back, and that's not what you said. See, that's a complete team. I could turn it around on you and say, well, if you had the lineman, you had the running back, and you had another wide receiver and a middle linebacker, I also think Tua can win. You know what I mean? The piece. It's funny how you're judging Tua. You've passed your judgment on Tua, Yet you want to acquire
Orlando.
a franchise quarterback. Wait a minute, hold on a second. You want to acquire a franchise quarterback, and you want to give the franchise quarterback what Tua doesn't have in order to succeed. It's freaking hilarious.
Even the biggest Tua supporter, and it may be you,
maybe
would have a hard time explaining that Tua Tagovailoa would at this point in time provide the Dolphins the type of championship opportunity that a Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers would. I mean, even you.
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers die right here on this team right now. Die. Dead in the water. With no line, no running game, no coaching, no second receiver. They'll die just like everybody else.
Well, it doesn't matter if Reed's
what do you win? Maybe an extra game? Maybe you get into the playoffs, right?
It doesn't matter who the Dolphins quarterback is. They're going to add 2 or more offensive linemen, 1 or more receivers, 1 or more running backs. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. The Dolphins plan to add to their offense. They plan to augment their offense. They plan to bolster their offense. Listen, I'm fine with the plan to give Tua 2022 and see if he can live up to the expectations, if he can recapture some of the magic that we saw at Alabama. That is an interesting storyline to me. I am interested to see how that plays out. I am enthusiastic, positive, open-minded about watching that story unfold.
Okay. I'm not sure about the open-mindedness, but all right, we'll let you.
A lot of guys get a clean slate. The new offensive line coach, Applebaum, nice guy.
Yeah. Yes.
He told me that Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg,
okay,
all these guys, all right. Solomon Kinley, what they get is a clean slate, a fresh set of eyes, and that is enthusiastic for me. That is positive. I like this, some enthusiasm about this spring and summer. I'm excited to visit with Mike McDaniel, to hear what he has to say here in Indianapolis, to talk to some of the young receivers that they might be able to add, a USC kid, an Arkansas kid. You know, that there's a Penn State kid. There are some good ones. There's a lot of receivers. You know, when you do your fantasy football draft and there's always receivers. You look at your waiver wire, and there's always receivers. There's always guys that have like had 1,000-yard seasons. Wow, they're available. Wow, because there's receivers are not that hard to find. And the Dolphins should get a couple in this draft because there's a lot of them. Not just a few really good ones, a lot of good receivers.
No, I'm with you there. Now, where you're at, one of the businesses of the week will be free agents. And obviously, whether you want to admit it or not, there's tampering going on, and everybody's trying to find out, well, what does your player want? What is he looking for this offseason?
Just don't do it on a yacht.
So what are the hot names in free agency that you might be tracking down here?
Well, you know, I have a list that I posted earlier in the offseason on the Palm Beach Post website. There's like 20, 25 free agents that the Dolphins should consider. I'll have to pull that list up. You know, the number one guy I remember was Teron Armstead. Now, he is the left tackle for the New Orleans Saints. Now, I know that you have concerns about his injury history.
Yeah, I love him. He's a great player.
Between him and a guy like Brandon Albert. Remember when the Dolphins got Brandon Albert sort of later in his career? You know, how do you perceive the Dolphins' addition of Brandon Albert? He was eventually replaced by Laramie Tunsil.
Solid. It was solid. The problem with Brandon was that he couldn't stay healthy, and that's where I would walk the fine line with Teron Armstead, because how much do you pay him? Do you pay him elite money, like based on his talent, or do you say, well, we have to have some reservations here because he does have a problem staying healthy? The guy can't play a whole season, ever, never, ever, ever, ever. Hell of a player, but that has to have some kind of a discount. And if it doesn't come with a discount and you're paying full rate, then I think you made a bad deal with Teron Armstead, because he's unreliable. His body is unreliable, not his play. his body.
The Dolphins need to secure at least one solid veteran tackle. Here are some of the guys I would look into. Teron Armstead, he's 30. Orlando Brown, he's 25, probably staying in Kansas
He's not going
City.
anywhere.
Trent Brown is 28. He can play right tackle, but then you got to probably use Eichenberg / Jackson at left tackle unless you move Eichenberg to guard. Morgan Moses, 30. Cam Robinson, 26, has been up and down. And then we mentioned this on a previous broadcast, Big O. Short-term, 1-year Band-Aid type options that I think the Dolphins would consider. Dwayne Brown, 36. Eric Fisher, 31. No problem with adding an Eric Fisher with the idea that you hope he starts most of the games this year, or that he's somehow beaten out by an Austin Jackson or Liam Eichenberg. But one of those guys that I just mentioned, it would be very, very disappointing if the Dolphins had none of them. Very disappointing. They can't just.
Yeah, no, I you're right. You're totally right, and I think they will, Joe. I think they're going to add 2 veteran linemen to this group because it needs an injection of leadership, of experience. Those young cats need a couple of established guys that they can lean on. You know what I mean? And they need 2 guys that become anchors of that line. And for me, it starts at center. I would go Ryan Jensen would be my number 1 priority if I'm the Miami Dolphins. I think that's what Tua needs more than anything else. He needs the middle of that line to be absolutely ironclad. And I think with Robert Hunt and you add a Jensen, then you got to just figure out that left guard. If you can do that, I think that's the most important thing for Tua is that pocket never crumbles. So you've got to be rock solid in the middle.
When you look at the offensive tackles that Chris Greer has added in recent years through free agency, they're sort of like athletic, raw, developmental projects who maybe have underperformed against their draft status. Like, it's fine to invite a guy like that to camp, but that can't be the guy that you're leaning on to start. The plan for this year to give Tua a fair chance to help him, as you have stated, is the plan, not you, the Dolphins.
No, I'm just proud of you that you actually said fair. I'm really proud of you there. That's when people have like problems like alcohol or gambling or something, they got to address it, and they got to make themselves aware of it and say I've got an issue. So the fact that you said fair, you addressed your problem, I love it. Go ahead.
I have 2 itis. Actually, I have always tried to be fair. That's kind of like, that's my shtick. Some guys have these like bombastic, explosive, polarizing debates and this and that, where you have to take one side and dig in. And I've actually tried not to do that. I've tried to be fair, but to be fair to Tua, let's go ahead and add an offensive tackle who has proven that he can at least be average in the NFL. At least a proven NFL
he got one that
player.
was really good when he got it early in Tunsil. He got a deal he couldn't, refuse. And by the way, who's to say Tunsil doesn't make it back? I mean, are you tracking down Tunsil's agent while you're there in Indianapolis? Because I would. That's for damn sure.
The Dolphins had a choice. They could have extended Laramie Tunsil. Let's not forget that piece of the equation. It wasn't just that they got an offer they couldn't refuse. They chose to trade him instead of keeping him. And so that leads me to believe that, in my educated opinion, that he is unlikely, unfortunately, to return.
Oh, I disagree with you. I think he could return. It's just they had to trade him because there was too many picks. You can't just,
You don't ever have to trade anybody. Why they could have extended him. Big O, they chose not to extend him. Why? Why? Because they didn't think it was a good choice.
Because you're Chris Greer, and then you've got the coach in the middle. Oh, he'll take Stills. Good. Get rid of Stills. He's a bum. I had to play Jay-Z music in front of everybody. So it was a complicated situation, dude. Now he doesn't have that parrot in his head and his ear talking to him constantly like Joe Philbin would, because Joe Philbin's punk ass would walk into that personnel room every other day and say, I can't coach that guy. I can't coach that guy. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. And it got to a point where the personnel department goes, hey, Joe, You got to coach some of these. We can't trade everybody. We can't cut everybody. So that's where I think.
So you think Brian
changed.
Flores wanted Laramie Tunsil traded?
No, I think he was fine with the trade because he's the New England thing. Oh, let's not spend that kind of money. And yeah, no, trade him. We got all those picks and they could take Stills and all that stuff. So I think it egged it on. And I think Chris Grier said, hell yeah, I got to take this trade because it's so many picks. We'll turn those picks into, a better team. You know what I mean? But again, when you've got that guy in your ear, and that's why I think that McDaniel now will work out a little better because McDaniel will make a suggestion, not a demand. That's the difference. They allowed Gase and Flores to have the power to make a demand. And that's where they contractually screwed up with those guys. That's not the case here with this guy.
When I watched Travis Winfield's interview with Chris Grier and Brian Flores, McDaniel is clearly a humble guy and a self-deprecating guy. And, I think that should mesh well with Chris Grier.
Yeah, and you could tell that he deferred to him on the personnel side. You can tell in that interview, all the way he was, and by the way, great answer by him on the whole relationship thing. He goes, well, he hired me. That line that McDaniel used to Winfield. I thought that was good. I'm happy for you guys, man, and ladies out there that are on the beat. They actually, you guys actually get like a human being to cover now, and you get to talk to assistant coaches that will actually be able to talk. And it was so frustrating to watch you guys ask people questions, and in their heads they're trying to design the answer for you so they don't get in trouble, and they try not to say anything whatsoever. I mean, I remember
going into the last preseason game last year, asking some assistant coaches like which young guys they were looking forward to getting to watch, and they wouldn't give like specific names. And the reason is I heard that they were told that other teams might read the players that they compliment and then try to claim them and add them to their roster. I guess the point is there was a lot of paranoia.
Yeah.
There was a lot of paranoia.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's going to be better this year.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to have that. You're going to have a human being. All right, good stuff. What are you working on the Palm Beach Post so folks can check you out while you're at the Combine?
Yeah, I did a list.
Coverage.
I did a list of players that I think the Dolphins need to scout here at the Combine. Check it out on the Palm Beach Post website. We got receivers and we got offensive tackles. There's a couple of offensive tackles. This dude Penning from Northern Iowa, if somehow the Dolphins could get their hands on him, probably not. He's probably not going to be available. But there's a few smaller school guys and certainly a few receivers and even a center if you were to slip. I know you're big on the center.
Definitely. All right, hit Nikki Blaine's. All right, we'll talk to you later on in the week. Well, we'll talk to you on Saturday, actually, while we're at the Tom Van Dyke sighting at Caneswear. So that's going to be a fun Saturday. Joe, have fun out there, my brother. You got it.
Good. Stay cool.
There you go. The great Joe Shat. No, he stays cool. He's in Indianapolis. He's going to be cold up there in Indianapolis. I love going up there for the week of Indy because, they got second tunnels that connect all the buildings, so you stay away from the cold. Every once in a while, you got to walk in the streets, and sometimes you turn that corner and the wind is howling and it goes right through you and it freezes your ass off. That is Joe Shad.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All right. And look, I love Joe, bro. Okay? But this is the problem with the whole Tua thing. Did you see how I love him, but I busted him, right? And I had to bust him right there on the air because he goes, well, if you add Tom Brady and then you go add a couple linemen. And it's funny how, okay, so that's what we're saying, that Tua has no help, but you're willing to add an elite quarterback and help him. But yet you want to judge Tua, who has no help, no offensive line, no running game, no coaching, and yet we're going to judge him, and we're not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but yet, no. We'll add a Rodgers or a Brady, but no, we have to go add linemen. Because, see, you also have to be honest with yourself. Sure, if you add Tom Brady to this team or you add Aaron Rodgers, you might win an extra game. But are you winning it all or something? No, dude. I don't even know if Tom Brady makes it through an entire season with this line. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers makes it through an entire season with this line. You don't know because you're going to get hit a lot in this line. So it's luck of the draw. You just have no idea. But that's what and I've done this with Joe many times because I hear it in his voice. I read it in his articles. I see it in our interviews. You gave up on the kid already. You know what I mean? And you gave up on him that you don't even realize how unfair you are. That you want to add an experienced quarterback and give him all the things that Tua doesn't have. This is what we've been dealing with since day one, practically. It's just, I don't understand it. I really don't. Oh, man. Anyway, so the Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. Bitcoin hovering around $44,000 right now. Market has absolutely blown up. Everything is in the green. And and as I told you yesterday, Canada, Ukraine, and Russia all have proven why crypto and decentralized financing is the future. Right there. You see all those people? The ruble is worth like a penny now. And they go to an ATM and all they're doing is printing the money, which is useless. If you had your Bitcoin, it'd be worth more now than when you bought it. You know what I mean? And those of us that were taking advantage of the dip at 34 and 35 and 36 and 37 and 38 and 40, you're loving it, right? Even if you bought it at 41, you're doing great. You're smart because it's going to go up and up and up and up. If you bought it at 42, you're fine. It's going to continue to go up. It's the only place it's going to go. People in Ukraine have no access to their money. People in Russia have no access to their money. People in Canada have no access to their money. You know why? Because they don't have their phone on them. So if you have your phone on you, you got your money. You don't need a bank. What have I told you already in the last couple months? You will see bank branches disappear. Okay? In the next couple of years, you're going to look around, you're going to go, wow, remember how you don't see public phones anymore? Right? This is why you don't see a payphone anymore. Now there's what? Maybe 5% of the payphones there used to be in the world. You won't see banks anymore either. They'll be disappearing also. So I'm just telling you, stay ahead of the curve. I've been trying to tell you, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that loves crypto. but I follow this and I know where our world is going. And that's the direction, whether you believe it or not, that's where we're going. And I think the one thing, look, there are things none of us, I got a buddy of mine that's big on technical analysis. And the TA guys were convinced that Bitcoin was going to drop to 30 to 33,000. Not like the crazy idiots. Oh, it's going to 20. Those are people that don't follow crypto and they don't know anything. But the problem is, the feds were going to raise the taxes. So that was going to add a little scare to it. Now the feds say they're going to hold off because of the war. But then you thought the war also could bring it down because then it was going to hurt other things. Then all of a sudden, what happened now that we didn't count on? We didn't count on a war. We didn't count on the effects of it. And then the financial crisis hit. Canada, they've got that whole blockade going on. So now they're trying to stop people from funding that blockade. So they put what? The kibosh on all the banks. Could they stop crypto? No. You can't stop crypto because it's not led by governments. Not led by private entities. Can't stop crypto. Sorry. So what happened? They stopped banking, all that kind of stuff. They couldn't stop the crypto. They tried, but they can't. Nobody can. Nobody has control over it. Then what happened? Ukraine, Russia, a war all of a sudden. Ukrainians are leaving their country by the hundreds of thousands. But at the same time, they're trying to get the money out of their banks. Can they? No. They were limited to $3,000 max. What if you had 40, 50, 100? What if you had 300,000? You can only get 3. What if you had it all here? You can take it out in Spain, in Ukraine, in Portland, Oregon, in Miami, Florida, in Mexico City, in Quebec, in Russia, wherever you're at, you got your money. Then what happened? Russia now has all of these sanctions going on. The ruble has crashed. Businesses, everything. They can't travel. They can't do anything. The market has crashed. They closed their market down in Russia because they were afraid that it was going to completely collapse. If you had your money, you didn't have to count on the ruble. If you had your Bitcoin, you didn't have to count on the ruble. If you had your Ethereum, you didn't have to count on your ruble. While it's a terrible moment in our world right now because we have a war, a senseless war that is going on. We have a war criminal in Putin right now killing human beings for no reason at all. Soldiers that have no idea what they're doing. They were told they were going to be welcomed by the Ukrainian people. That's what these soldiers. Did you see the text that they got from the dead Russian soldiers yesterday? They got their phones from the dead Russian soldiers. And they're communicating, telling their family members, we have no idea why we're here. We were told we were going to be welcomed. One guy was telling his mother, no, Mom, we're not doing exercises. This is a real war going on, and I'm scared. It's a joke. Like what Putin's doing to his own people and then lying to everybody, and it's disgusting. But at the same time, while all of this is going on, it is teaching people a lesson about your money and how it's being controlled by the government and manipulated. And this is why they're stealing constantly from you in the banking system. And when you have to wire money to somebody else in another country, there are 3 banks in the middle taking a chunk of money from you. When you can just press a button in Bitcoin or anything and send $5 or $5 billion in 2 seconds, paying minimal, nothing. You know that over 20 million has been donated to the Ukrainians through crypto. Can't stop crypto. Keep telling you. Keep telling you. So, Flaudon, we know the video is terrible. We know it's freezing. What do you want me to do, bro? What do you want me to do? do any of us have any control over the internet? No, my brother. So I can't do anything about it. Every day it's fine. Today seems to be something going on. I have no idea what it is. I can't do anything about it. So, all right. I will continue to beat the drum and try to educate you all on Bitcoin and decentralized financing. And eventually, some of you will get it. Some of you won't, unfortunately, and you'll be left behind. So I don't know what to tell you, But anyway, it is what it is. Joe Shad will just join us. Manny Navarro will be joining us in hour number 2. Speaking of hour number 2, why don't we do this? Let's take a quick break and let's get ready for hour number 2 right here on the Big O Radio Show.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hey, boys and girls. Hope you all are doing well. By the way, Sean Quarta, just to give you a little education, my brother, because he's like, well, no, Bitcoin and crypto, they're both great, hedges against inflation. Gold is not a hedge against inflation. Gold is for old people that know nothing anymore about finance and investing. Here's your chart for 10 years, my brother. Okay? There's your chart. Here, 2012, 1,800. 2021, just under 1,900. Gold has moved $100 in 10 years. $100. Bitcoin moves $100 in a minute. Here you go. Gold, 10 years. Gained $100. You know what it is? You know what? You have $1 million in gold, and you're going to gain what? Minimal? Couple percent? Come on, man. Let's go. Let's wake up. If you don't invest, then you don't have the information. You don't have the education. So you're talking out of your ass. You understand? I see it all the time, with crypto and stuff, when people talk about it. It's like I can tell right away that you don't know anything. You don't do your homework when you're telling me stuff that I can see it right away. So, it's like you're repeating what somebody else says. That's all. Oh, gold, a great hedge against inflation. No, it's not. Who the hell told you that? It's ridiculous. And what are you going to do? Carry around gold bullions? Come on, man. Digital currency is the way digital gold is. Bitcoin is better than, you can still mine more gold. There's more gold to be mined in the world. There's 21 million Bitcoins. It's over. There's no more. That's it. And there's just under 2 million left, or just over, barely 2.1 or 1.8 or something like that. And those will be mined in the next 10 years, I believe they say. And then that's it. There'll be like a couple left over, but most of it, like 99.8% of it, will be mined in the next 10 years. And then the last couple will take a couple more years or whatever, because it just the what is it? The solution. No, what's it called? The riddle or whatever it is that these computers have to solve in order to create the block, it gets harder and harder and harder. So that's why. But most of it is gone. So roller coaster. Roller coaster. I don't know what that means. Roller coaster, if it starts at zero and it's at $44,000, I don't think that's roller coaster. In 12 years, if something starts at zero and it's at 44,000 right now, it's not a roller coaster. Now, did it start at 45? No. Roller coaster, King Short, if this is what you're talking about, is gold. 10 years ago, it's slightly at the same price it is right now. That's a roller coaster, my friend. You got to know the difference. There's difference between something that's an ascending asset to something that has not ascended at all. That's your roller coaster. But that's fine. Oh, man. All right. Steve Rose says Bitcoin is based upon a value assigned by its people. What if they decide to assign little to no value in the future, but instead another digital technology or commodity? Steve, I love you guys come up like yesterday. We had the stupid line of, well, what about if there's a power outage? And it's like, okay, so there's a power outage. You think your ATM is going to work? You think you can buy something at Burger King? You think you can do anything in a power outage? By the way, the blockchain is worldwide. So it would have to be a power outage for the entire world for you not to have your access. But it's like, what if this? What if that? Look at who's putting the money in. It's not just people. It's organizations. It's financial institutions. Okay, it's being used as currency now by countries. Use your head. All right, I get it, man. I'm not going to convince people like Steve Rose or others because you know nothing about it. So all you do is fear it, and it's the same crap that's happened before. So it's all good. Let's see. Big O, I must push back on Steve Ross going beyond Tua, then Sperano, now Watson, going beyond to win, but rough shooting his young players and coaches for respect amongst owners. If you don't see that. And Sperano, see, the thing is, on the Watson stuff, I'm not exactly sure, because if he really wanted Watson, why haven't they kept working on that? Why did it all just die? Think about that. That's what I would have to say. So all of a sudden you fire Flo and there's no more Watson talk. So if Steve Ross wanted Watson, why wouldn't he still want Watson? Why did all of a sudden Steve Ross says, oh, no, yeah, no, Chris, yeah, you can fire the coach and hire your own coach, and you can go ahead and go with Tua. But if he wanted Watson last year, why wouldn't he want Watson now? See what I'm saying? What changed? All right, supposedly he's going to get deposed in another month and a half, right? And sometime in April, they could find out where it really stands. So why aren't you leaving the door open for that? Why did it all die? Ask yourselves that. Why did all of a sudden everything die? Is there nobody rattling the cage inside the team that didn't want Tua and was telling everybody else that he didn't want Tua and he wanted somebody else like Watson? It's funny how Flores is all high and mighty about not wanting to meet Tom Brady, supposedly, right? Supposedly. All high and mighty about this. Oh, no, I can't tank. But he wants Watson, who's a scumbag. Oh, I'm sorry. Alleged scumbag. But he'll hang out with Belichick for 15 years through Spygate and spying on the Bengals and everything else that they do there. Stealing signals, messing with people's radios, all that. But he'll be a part of all of that. But then all of a sudden here, he has a conscience. Here, all of a sudden, he's Mr. I do everything right. So I ask you, I ask every media member in the country, I ask everyone out there, if the owner wanted Watson so badly, but so badly in the offseason, so badly throughout the regular season, why doesn't he want him now? What happened? I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Did Tua throw for 10,000 yards in the last two games? Did the offense all of a sudden explode and get into the playoffs? Did they make a run in the playoffs? I'm sorry. I must have missed the event that convinced Steve Ross not to go after Watson, who he supposedly wanted badly. So if he wanted, the billionaire wanted Jim Harbaugh, he went to go visit him. So if the billionaire really wanted him so badly, why doesn't he still want him? Tell me, please. Help me out. Irving says, Stephen Ross did want Deshaun Watson. So did Greer Marino. When Watson refused to settle the 22 civil lawsuits, neither did the ladies. The trade did not go through. Watson did not talk. Says Stephen Ross. Well, but why aren't they doing it now and waiting for, there's got to be a resolution eventually. So why not now? Why isn't there? Anyway, Irving says, with no World Wide Web or global electronic grid or technology, especially in catastrophic events, crypto ain't worth jack. Gold and silver will always maintain its value. But yes, crypto is the future. Crypto will always be worth it, my brother. And what do you think? All of a sudden, so globally, we're never going to have electricity again? Really? Like, what world do you live in? Like, how are we going to be without power? And eventually we'll all be on solar grids and all that. It'll all be on. Eventually our kids will be living in lives where, or their kids, everything will be naturally powered. So power is never going to be an issue for us. So I don't know what fantasy you guys are living in. Okay. And by the way, if power goes down, you're not getting into your banks. So you're not going to get access to anything. And nobody's sitting at home with a stack of bullions sitting there in their house. Come on. You think we're going to go back to the West where we were trading gold bits and silver bits? Come on, dude. Come on, Irving. Let's go. Let's wake up. Mob Rule says, governments can shut down the internet. I experienced this while in the Army overseas during a war in the Middle East. The internet is not owned by a private company. The Department of Defense does. Mob Rule can't shut down the blockchain. Not run by the country. Not run by the government. Sorry, my brother. By the way, Canada tried to do that. Mob Rule. They failed. Can't get to crypto. They tried, but that's all right. Let's leave the facts out. But you can create whatever world you want to live in. One has the entire world shutting down with no power, and we're going to go back to trading gold and silver bits like we did in the Wild Wild West. Okay? There you go. It's like some of you are going to do whatever you can to stay ignorant, not open your mind, find out about something that could help you out. And then by the time it could help you out, by the time you learn about it, it's too late. You lost out on your opportunity to take advantage of the investment early on. Why? Because I sat there thinking, oh, the world might end. There'll be no power. We're actually going to go back to gold and silver bits as pieces. So, yeah, no, of course, digital currency is not, we've only been using credit cards forever as digital currency. But of course, no, digital currency is not going to work. No. Why would digital currency work? Come on. Anyway. Big O doesn't care about Watson. Crazies keep posting stupid Watson questions. Well, apparently the Dolphins don't care about Watson either, because the guy that cared about Watson is no longer in the building. Canada did shut down the internet, but that's okay. I'm not talking crypto, just telecommunications today. Yeah, but they couldn't get to crypto. They couldn't stop crypto. That's the part I keep telling you. They could not stop crypto. I saw a dude in a truck. They showed it where he got 9,000 in Bitcoin because they needed money for whatever crazy ass thing that they were doing that was really, obviously the people in the blockade were a bunch of morons, but it is what it is. I remember Hurricane Andrew. No, what it's like to not have power for weeks in Miami. Price gouging, water, batteries, cash was king for 30 years. Yep. Those days are done, my brother. Cash is dead. Governments are figuring out it costs more money to print these coins than it is to have them in circulation. So it's all going to disappear eventually. You'll get it. Some of you will get it when eventually it happens. Anyway, 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line, 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welt and Realm text line. Let me see where. Speaking of Bitcoin, it's over 44,000. We'll see if it gets to 45. Already hit 45. 45.1 it hit today. So let's see if it gets over the top. All right, good job by the Heat last night. They take on Milwaukee tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Panthers are off. Sucks till Thursday. They take on the Senators. Man, all these, like, we waited a whole couple weeks practically for the Panthers to come back to play a game, and now they don't play again until Thursday, and they've lost 3 in a row at home. So I'm sure those guys are salivating to get back and pick up a victory and break the funk. You know what I'm saying? What else do we have here on the program that I wanted to talk about? I do have a crazy NIL story I got to tell you about. And probably a reason why coaches are probably getting tired. College coaches are getting tired of dealing with these kids, and it's going to get worse. Actually, I don't even know if it'll get better. Greater Good says, I didn't see any crypto watching Planet of the Apes. Love it. Sharif says, Big O, this is why we will ask Tua. Tua says, with Flo, I feel wanted. Meanwhile, Flores always says, why don't you ask Chris Greer and Tua about how I make them feel doing their job? Well, look, man, in the end, it's any of us are going to excel in an environment where you're supported. In an environment where you're not supported, I know how that is. That's what I had the last 11 months that I was at QAM. I knew the guy that took over didn't like me, didn't want me around, wasn't going to renew my contract, wasn't willing to help me for 11 months. You know what it is to walk into a place for 11 months that you know you're getting fired? That's not a fun feeling, dude. At all. Like, you're convinced you know already what's going on. You think about that. So Tua, I can relate to Tua in that sense. A lot of you can relate to Tua. Come on, man. So many of you have been in a position where you ended up somewhere in a job or something where things didn't go well. You didn't hit it off with somebody for whatever reason, and you knew it was doomed. And basically, Tua was doomed. That's why, as much as I love Joe, I had to call him out there. Because it's funny how, he doesn't even realize it. So he wants to acquire, the Dolphins acquire an elite quarterback, and let's give the elite quarterback what Tua doesn't have. But then let's judge Tua on an elite status that he can't be an elite status when he doesn't have the things around them to help them be elite. It's hilarious. So you can't be in that kind of environment. You just can't. By the way, folks, remember, we're going to be in Las Vegas for the NFL draft. Sean, myself, and a slew of guests are going to join us live there at Tommy Rockers. You never know who's going to show up at Tommy Rockers, okay, to join us for a little bit. And we will have all kinds of guests, and we plan on having, obviously, the best NFL draft coverage for Dolphin fans on the planet. So make sure you tune into our YouTube channel for all 3 days, from beginning to end, from the beginning of the draft to the last pick of the Miami Dolphins in the 7th round. So it's going to be 3 long days. Going to be a lot of fun. That first night's going to be tough, I will say, because we got to wait till the 29th pick. And, man, I would not be surprised if they trade out of that pick after we've been on the air for 4 or 5 hours, talking some stuff. So we'll see how it goes that day. But it should be fun. Tommy Rockers, as you see there, it's the Mojave Beach of Las Vegas. They've got slot machines also there. About 300 fans fit. It's a Dolphins bar in Las Vegas. So the Las Vegas Dolphins fan club goes to that bar. And we're going to be out there for, in Vegas, we're going to be out there for the NFL draft, and we're going to be covering it. And you can watch it also. I mean, why watch any draft coverage that's not Dolphin slanted, right? You want to watch a coverage that's about your team, and that's what you're going to get for those 3 days. Going Balls Android says the Ukrainian TV station has been hit. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's sad. Big O, whatever happened to the dude who didn't offer you a new contract at QAM? Oh, he's still there. He's still there. He's still there destroying the place. All you got to do is listen to Joe. He rips him all the time. You could tell, boy. You could tell Joe is on his way out, boy. He is lambasting everything. Dolphins, Chris Greer, Len, everything. It's like he's leaving nothing in his wake. He's at the point where he just doesn't care. Every time I get in the car to go get some breakfast and I tune into Joe, I hear him complaining about the Dolphins, ripping Chris Greer, or ripping Len. Every time. It's like money. I guess that's what he's doing every day. But every time I get in the car, I always put on Joe just to check out what he's doing. And he's constantly doing that. Samuel Jean says, oh, I live in Las Vegas. Looking forward to seeing you. Well, Samuel, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, brother. Looking forward to it. Aaron says, flashback to Sperano when Ross flew to talk to Harbaugh after becoming coach while Sperano was still the head coach. That's why I'm saying that if he really wants Watson, that rumor would have never died. It just tells me that it was more driven by flow than anything else. What hotel are you staying at again? I ain't staying in a hotel. We got a house. We rented a house for like 8 or 9 days that I'm there. Something like that. So no hotel for me. Really nice and comfortable. We're going to be at a house. Got a living room, got a couple rooms, got a couple bathrooms, got a full kitchen, got a backyard, got a nice front yard to park the car. Don't have to worry about walking 5 blocks to my room when we park the car. Don't have to worry about sometimes the key doesn't work, and then you got to walk back to the front desk, which is like 5 blocks away, fix your key, then walk back to your room another 5 blocks. So I don't mind staying in hotels. But if I have a chance to get an Airbnb, I've had good experiences renting out houses instead, or, spacious condos or something. It's always better for me, at least. It's fun. So this will allow us, and we rented a car So we'll be able to go wherever the hell we want and all that good stuff. Looking forward to it. George says, Big O, I'm with you on crypto. However, an EMP or solar storm can fry the grid for years. That said, if crap like that ever hit the fan, I think food, water would be most important. Just saying. Yeah, I mean, that would shut down everything, dude. Doesn't really matter. Big O, my job would be so boring if I wasn't able to listen to your whole shift. Well, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Big O, thanks for calling out Joe Shad. You exactly what I've been saying the entire time. Yeah, well, I mean, I love Joe, but I could tell that he's quit on Tua. So, you know, when he says, well, the Dolphins, no, that's you, not the Dolphins. Dolphins are dysfunctional. Carl, nobody can argue with you on that, right? Until they win and don't have any more of these kind of incidents, who the hell is going to discuss that? You know, who the hell is going to argue with you on that one? What are you going to do? All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little Miami Hurricanes. Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. That is next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All righty, there he is. Manny, how you doing, my friend? You doing good?
Doing good, brother. Everything's great. How are you?
Can't complain, bro. We got Bitcoin at 44,000. Things are good. You're not in any crypto yet, right? Not yet.
I'm not, brother. I'm not. I'm into two little girls that require me to drive them to dance class every single day. Those are the two things that I'm most focused on, man. My two daughters.
You might want to put a little Bitcoin on the side for them down the line and set them up a little bit there. You know, a little savings account.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt.
You know, like simple. Like, okay, not a financial advisor. I'm just saying. Like people have savings accounts, right? Do you have a savings account?
Yes.
Okay. What's it earning?
I don't know, to be honest. I kind of leave that in the hands of other people. That's
like
probably bad, right?
0.5% or something, right?
Probably, yeah.
Right. So there's something called stable coins, a USDC coin, which is backed by the dollar. So every dollar you buy is backed by a dollar, right? So it's a dollar. And you buy it like let's say on crypto.com, you buy it. You know, so you put your $500 you have in your savings account. You put it on there and you stake it, you get 10%.
That's good.
Just
good.
No risk.
Right.
Nothing. It's a stable coin. It stays at $1. It's not moving anywhere. It's $1. And you're getting 10% of that. Obviously, you can invest on Bitcoin and Ethereum and other things, and you can make even more money and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't want to take any risk at all, you're like a person, no, dude, I got my savings account, I'm fine, and all that. Insured too. Boom. Put it there, 10% from your money just sitting there. You know, those are little
something
things
to think about.
People don't understand about decentralized financing now. And I think a lot of people are learning now after watching what happened in Canada, Ukraine, and Russia, how they were able to control everybody's monies and all that stuff, that if you had crypto, nobody can get to it. No government can get to it. You would always have your money. Dude, the ruble's worth a penny now. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Scary stuff, man.
I think that's why Bitcoin has shot up. Ukrainians, Russians, Canadians, after experiencing what they experienced, are like, nah. not doing this anymore. I'm going to put some of my money where it can actually grow and I have control over it, not a government. And that is some scary stuff, man. Anyway, all right. So let's have some fun here. Jason Taylor.
Yes.
Talk to me because there's a lot of talk going on. So how much is real? How much is Memorex? Talk to me.
Well, listen, I didn't report this about 3 weeks ago because what I was told when I initially asked was it's not going to happen. He's not going to be an assistant coach at the college level. He's an NFL Hall of Famer. He's got plenty of money. Being a guy who works around the clock chasing after kids that come to a college program is just not going to be something he does. So the focus, I think, shifted to be basically, can he become an analyst? Could he become a consultant, that type of deal? So I never took it as a big deal because I knew from the get-go, from talking to people at St. Thomas Aquinas that I know very well, it just wasn't going to become an assistant coach type of deal. So I didn't think it was that big of a story. Ed Reed working with the Hurricanes, what did we learn about that situation last year, right? I mean, he pops in when he wants to. And that's different than being a hands-on coach and being a part of a staff where you're game planning and doing everything else. So I think in this case, it's a sexy name to throw out there. Mario likes sexy names, right? He's hired a lot of sexy names and guys that have big reputations in this business. But I just didn't see it becoming a reality. And it's up to Jason ultimately. He's got other kids, playing college football in other places. So if he wants a consultant type job or analyst type role where he doesn't have to be in the building every single day and recruiting every single day and can pop in when he wants, then it's up to him. But as far as how that's progressing, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know where they're at. I just know when I asked about it 3 weeks ago, when the rumor first sort of surfaced that Mario was having conversations with him, the initial response I was given was, no, that's not going to happen because he's just not going to be a college assistant. And a lot of former great players don't want to make that kind of commitment. They've got a life. They've got other things that they're into, right? And they've made a ton of money, and they're not desperate like a lot of other coaches are that they need a paycheck and move from one sort of job to the next. So that's the way I understood the situation.
Right. No, I get it. And he would be a guy that I would like for recruiting purposes, actually, because that would be a guy that probably could walk in a room and win people over. But if you can't use him as a weapon like that, then it's not as maybe, Mario doesn't need that much help in certain areas like that.
Well, no, I mean, listen, I think he was trying to convince him to become an assistant coach, and I think it was pretty clear early on that wasn't the case. Now, I think would he still love to have him on staff the way he has Ed Reed around, or the way Manny Diaz had Ed Reed around, and Ed Reed is still involved? Would he like those kind of people to be around the program to help influence recruits? Absolutely. I think Mario's entire deal throughout this entire process has been, I want recruits to say the best staff in college football is at Miami. That's what he wants. He wants everybody, that opinion to get out there. Hey, you go to Miami, you're going to be around great coaches and great people. So I think that's where the attraction with Jason Taylor lies, and we'll see if he ends up joining the staff in some capacity. I don't know if I've talked about this with you, but we've certainly talked about Alonzo Highsmith before, right? Having a role with the team. That's another name that's been out there for a while. That is he going to come in a GM of football type role, that kind of thing. I think all of that is going to work itself out. How many hours those guys have to be in the building will work itself out. But I think Miami is willing to spend what it needs to spend to get as many big name people involved in the program, whether it's a small role or a large role. And, we'll see. I know this. He's still interviewing for defensive ends coaches. I think he did interviews last week for that. Hopefully there's a decision soon, man, because spring football starts in a week, next Monday. So he's going to have to hire somebody at some point to be the defensive ends coach. And I think Steven Field, the way everything has been sort of going right now, it looks like he'll be the tight ends coach again. And he's a great recruiter. I mean, he's recruited really good tight ends here since he's been here. And I think, I think that's the way they're going to roll out. But we'll see. Everything should be finalized, hopefully, by the first spring practice.
Well, one thing I do know, Mario doesn't need a GM of football. That was for the other guy that needed training wheels. This guy, right. This guy's not going to have. He's not going to have any of that.
Well, no, I mean, Alonzo, if he joins the staff, and people have asked, well, what would he do? Because the transfer portal has become such a big deal. Alonzo's value could be in evaluating upperclassmen and identifying guys that Miami should go after in the transfer portal, right? Or have conversations with before they go into the transfer portal, so to speak, if you catch my drift. So I think that's a role where he would provide great value, because he does that anyway. That's what he's been doing for 25 years, evaluating upperclassmen who are draft eligible.
Talk to me about this coaching staff, because that's kind of been the talk now. We've all, after everybody, not everybody, but after so many were worried and complaining and bitching about how long it's taking and all this stuff, the close to finished product has impressed many, to the point that they're now comparing them to other Hurricane staffs. So as a guy that has covered a lot of Hurricane staffs and been around the Hurricane football program for a long time and seen a lot of great staffs come and go,
right,
we can't really put a ranking on this, because until they actually do something, then maybe we can actually realistically compare them to others. So for now, how would you grade out this staff? How would you look at this staff? How would you describe this staff? Strengths and possibly weaknesses to a fan?
Well, I mean, look, first of all, you have two former Power 5 head coaches as assistants, right? And Kevin Steele, who was the coach at Baylor long ago, and obviously Charlie Strong, who's been the coach at Texas and Louisville and South Florida, won national championships as a coordinator at Florida. So right off the bat, on the defensive side of the ball, you have upgraded to a level that, as far as established coaches, I don't ever remember Miami having former head coaches, that before coming to Miami, that they were Power 5 head coaches, two of them on one side of the ball like that. I'm trying to rack my brain. When did those guys, it's kind of like, did they have guys who eventually became head coaches? Yes. But did they have, guys that were already head coaches at a Power 5 school? No. So that is sort of the unprecedented. I think Josh Gaddis, without a doubt, is going to be a college football head coach, probably at a Power 5 program. I think he's just trending in that direction. If not, maybe somewhere in the NFL. And then you look at the rest of the staff and other guys that they have there. I mean, Mirabal is one of the best offensive line coaches in all of college football. He proved it. People, who say, oh, well, he's been with Mario. No. Look at what he did at Marshall with Doc Holliday. Doc Holliday wasn't winning at Marshall and winning conference titles until Alex Mirabal got there. And he took a bunch of no-star kids and turned them into, all conference type players, NFL type guys. Salavea.
Yeah, and by the way, we kind of spent the last 2 years here talking about that with the Dolphins. Like,
right,
if you don't get an offensive line coach, bro, you're not going to get anywhere. No. And yes, and the good thing about that is the first guy, Ebbs. What'd you say? What was the guy's name? Eves. What was the guy's name? The other guy you just talked about before that you might lose him as a head coach. I'm brain farting.
Gaddis.
Yeah. So Gaddis, you might lose. The good thing is Mirabal, you won't. He's been with Mario, and he'll stay with Mario as the O-line coach. Whereas a Gaddis, okay, great young coach, potential you may have to replace him down the line. That's the good thing, man, because having great O-line coaches at any level is just so enormous in football, dude.
Oh, absolutely. You need that more than anything else. A guy who could, and the problem is the hardest position to recruit, in all honesty, is offensive line, because you really don't know what kind of training that kid is getting at the high school level, and a lot of them aren't really trained to perform. Most of them are just bigger than the guys they line up opposite against, and they just dominate them based on size at the high school level. So you got to figure out when you're recruiting these guys is how smart are they? How much can I teach them? And it's hard when you have limited interaction, right? Text messages, whenever they come on the official visit, you put them up on the board and you have them go through play diagrams and that kind of stuff. But the reality is it's hard to really know how good those guys are until you get them in the door. So I think without a doubt, I mean, he's one of the best offensive line coaches in the country. And then, on tight end, Stephen Field is, like I said, recruiter. Frank Ponce, he's done a phenomenal job with quarterbacks in his time in college football. Was at Louisville working with their quarterbacks when Satterfield went over there and left Appalachian State. Then he came back to App State last year, first time as a play caller, and he turns Chase Bryce, who was terrible at Duke under David Cutcliffe, who is the quarterback whisperer, by the way, and he turns Chase Bryce into a top 35 quarterback. And the kid was like not even in the top 100 at Duke the year before that. So he's a guy who knows how to develop players. He's a very good quarterbacks coach. So I think from top to bottom, you look at the staff. And how could I forget about the DBs coach who they got from Georgia, one of the best young rising coaches as far as assistants, a guy who's probably going to be a coordinator in Jamil Adai. So, yeah, I mean, you look at staff top to bottom, it is as good as any, I think, certainly the ACC. I would say it's right there with Clemson staff, and Clemson lost a lot of guys.
I was just about to say that. I was about to tell you, is it with Clemson staff last year?
Yeah, I would say in the past.
The staff this year, because they lost their defensive coordinator, dude. To me,
and the offensive, yeah. No, I mean
but losing that defensive coordinator that has been with him forever, and that guy easily could have had a head coaching job 5-7 years ago.
Right.
To me, that's a monster loss for them, dude. We'll see.
I would say right now, this coaching staff is as good as any as Clemson had when it was winning the conference and going to the college football playoff and playing in the championships. I would think it's on par with that between Kevin Steele and Charlie Strong on the defensive side. Again, Gaddis, he was there as an offensive coordinator for 3 years at Michigan, and they got to the playoffs. So I think, it's just as good as what Clemson had when they were winning the conference, if not better. Could be better in a year or two when we see where these guys end up and what they're doing.
Any transfer portal news, in or out, egress or ingress?
Nothing as far as departures yet. I think, that's something you got to keep an eye on. Like I said, they're over the scholarship limit projected anyway. With the 8 summer arrivals, they'll be at like 88. But they're also, they're after this. They're after the defensive end that I told you about last Friday, Agude from UCLA.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And, I think they're always looking for help, man. Like, to me, they've signed 20 kids, 6 transfers, 14 high school signees. I think, Mario, the roster continues to change. And I've said this to you before on the show. I think, as guys become available and as guys enter the portal and decide, hey, I'm leaving this school, it's all going to be about who jumps on them first and who can make the best impression. And I think they're very vigilant of it. They're very vigilant of who's popping in. So I would say at any moment, things can change the moment we see guys pop in the transfer portal. West Virginia just lost their one of their starting linebackers who just went into the portal. He's another guy. Daryl Porter Jr. just got here, right? I mean, he could tell them, hey, come join me at Miami. So
no. Do you know the story?
Yes, you told me about Porter. Yes, Daryl Porter Sr.
No. I'm talking about the West Virginia kid.
No, what's the story with him?
Do you know the story? Oh, dude, I got it. Oh, this is a great story.
Okay, tell me.
You're talking about Josh Chandler Semedo, right?
Right.
Okay, this is a story I was saving for later on the show, but all right, you got me now, so I might as well say it. So, just in case, because he brought it up now, right? So, just in case, Canes fans, if they bring it up, here's what you're getting. Okay, so the 6'1", 215-pounder signed with West Virginia in the class of 2018. He's been a 3-year starter at linebacker for the Mountaineers. In December, he made everybody seem that he was happy when he announced he was returning to Morgantown for his final year of eligibility. In January, he took to Twitter to inform his followers he was looking for an SUV truck. Says, I'm looking for a new SUV truck in the West Virginia Pitt area. Any good references? So all of a sudden, a dealership stepped up, and Toothman Ford stepped up. So he tweets out, let's give a big West Virginia shout out to our guy, him, a tackling machine in 2021 and running it back in 2022, inking up his NIL deal with Team Toothman from Ford. Well, a little over a month later, after signing his NIL deal and taking some money, Chandler Semedo would again head to Twitter to announce he would be heading into the transfer portal. So I was actually going to ask you a question about the tracks of the NIL and how this, in the end, also will start to scare away your potential sponsors or people that are willing to give money, because ROI is very important as we all know.
Absolutely.
And as a guy that is building something here I got to handle the business side of it. Sponsors, they like ROI. They want return on investment. And so I don't think that Ford dealer got a lot of return on their investment. So I'm just saying, this is the NIL. These are the kids. This is the transfer portal. This guy said he was returning. He needs a car. A month later, he gets his car and he's gone. I mean, you can't, come on, dude. It's crazy.
Well, I would say this. Every NIL deal, and I've been covering a few different ones here recently, including our boy Chase Smith, who signed with Edge Energy Drink.
Damn right, he's got the edge.
That's right, he's got the edge. Every one of these deals, though, I mean, I'm sure there's always a sticking point, right, where the guy giving the money and the goods can back out of it if the deal's broken. So I'm sure he's got to return that car. But what I will say about this kid is, if he's one of the best linebackers in the country, there'll be another 10 dealerships waiting to line up and hook him up with a car in whatever city he decides to go to. So, and down here in South Florida, by the way, Williamson Cadillac for years has had a great deal with the Hurricanes, right? So, maybe he trades in whatever it was that he got.
It was a Ford. A Ford.
It was a Ford for a Caddy. I don't know. I think he'd probably consider that an upgrade. We'll see, man. I love this kind of stuff, though, because instead of being behind the scenes, right, which is what we always do as reporters, right now it's just like I'm going on Twitter and saying, hey, man, you know what? I'd love a new car. Who's going to step up to the plate for me? And boom, it's taken care of. And so now it's all in the public. By the way, I'm going to see if I can go and attend one of these commercial for John Ruiz and his Life Wallet product. I'm going to see if I can go watch these kids do some of these commercials so I can chat with them a little bit. But it's amazing how many of these kids, you and I have talked about this before off air, the way the colleges try to shield these kids from doing interviews, from talking to the public, and every one of these kids now that I talk to because of the NIL, they're unbelievably sharp. They're really good. They love answering questions. They like participating in it. But the colleges, man, just killing off media access because they want to, right? Because they just don't want the kids talking and saying something mistaken.
Oh, they're afraid. They're afraid of now. They don't want to be specifically tied to it like that. So they let the kid get tied to it. So that way they can detach themselves as much as possible for just in case the NCAA wants to come down on people and say, hey, well, listen, man, this is the rules that were set up and we're not part of it. So I think they're trying to distance themselves as much as possible so they can try to clean their hands as much as they can if the crap hits the fan. That's my guess.
Absolutely. But what I was saying is, if you think about, how many years we've dealt with them cutting off access to us, to these players, and now all of a sudden these kids are getting an opportunity to market themselves by going on podcasts and going on shows, the benefit that they get from that to be more accessible in the end, that to me, that far outweighs. I mean, they're getting all these NIL deals because they're a pitchman essentially for those companies, right? They've got to be public. And those companies are getting an opportunity now to actually have their name put out there. It's not just that ad, when you go to a Canes baseball game or a basketball game that's hanging there and nobody really pays attention to, right? I mean, this is real marketing, and it's great for these kids because it's going to help them as they grow. A lot of those guys, from covering the NFL, being shut off to the world, no interviews, they're a disaster when they get to the pros. They don't know how to handle media. They don't know how to market themselves. Now you can really see the difference just in a year, how much better these kids are at all of that and how it's going to help them in the long run.
What are you working on the athletics so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, a lot of different things. One, I'll be driving up to Lakeland today to go see Mario's speech with the Cormani McLean kid, who's the 5-star linebacker. He's going to talk so I'm driving up there to watch that, and I'll write something off of that. Again, football starts March 7th, next Monday. So we'll have practices and lots of preview content. What are the big storylines heading into camp? What do we need to watch for? That kind of stuff. And then recruiting. I've talked to a ton of recruits here in the last 2 weeks, just going out to these Under Armour camps and guys on my podcast, the Wide Right podcast, interviews. Jake Lichtenstein, who's the USC transfer, he'll be on the podcast soon. So there's a ton of content, man. There's a ton of stuff that I'll be having coming out here in the next week.
Looking forward to it. As always, subscribe to The Athletic, folks. You know, Manny is the best. Great coverage, as always. Great insight. Follow him on Twitter if you want the edge on the Canes at Manny_Navarro, and catch him here twice a week with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report, which, by the way, Manny, we're doing a special show on Saturday. It's a short one, 11:01. But we're leading right up to the Tyler Van Dyke signing at Caneswear in Davie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, you are welcome to come by
Yes.
and join us on the show and then watch the craziness.
Yeah,
I don't know. If I get some work done there. There is the starting quarterback there. You might be able to ask him a question or two. You know what I mean?
Well, I might.
Brett might give you a little extra access since you're in the family.
There you go. There you go. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, I would love to.
All the hookups, bro. Edge, Caneswear. You're just set, bro. You're set.
I am, bro. I am.
And wait till the show. We're working on it, baby.
That's getting there. Yep.
Yeah, it's getting there. We're gonna get there. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, my brother. I appreciate you as always. Thank you.
All right, man. Take care. I'll see you.
You got it. The great Manny Navarro, as always, joining us here a couple times a week. And remember, Saturday, we are on 6 days a week this week. Saturday, it's a short show. We're only doing 2 hours, 11:01. But we're going to be out there promoting, obviously, Caneswear. And for those of you that don't know, Tyler Van Dyke is signing. And you gotta buy your tickets for the meet and greet at Caneswear because it's going to get crazy. So you may want to call them at 954-835-5597. If you want to get your pass to, they have the stuff there so you can buy and sign certain things that they're going to be able to sign. So you can check it out there at Caneswear. So if you want your chance to meet Tyler Van Dyke, and hey, man, this kid clearly has the goods to go to the NFL. So if he somehow becomes an NFL star and you met him there at Caneswear and you got a picture or he signed something for you, that's going to be worth a lot down the line. Okay. All right. So you go. And as for you, Leo V, you said this crypto talk is getting old. Crypto's just getting started, and so am I. And this show will actually go to crypto conventions eventually. We will add more crypto talk down the line. So I'm not putting a gun to your head. So if you don't like that I'm talking about the Marlins or baseball or crypto, or I'm talking about hockey, or I'm talking about Inter Miami or music or something that isn't the Dolphins or the Canes or the Heat, I'm not putting a gun to anybody's head, bro. I never understand people that are complaining about something and they're still watching. So if you don't like the material on the show, I'm not stopping. And you're not going to control it. So whining and complaining about it, yeah, that catches my attention because I don't watch anything I don't like. I have no interest. So if the crypto talk's getting old, it's not stopping, dude. So Leo V, get the F out of here, bro. Pretty simple. That's all. I love these guys that think, let me threaten him. I'm going to not listen anymore. I'm going to hang up. Oh, I can't stand this. You can't. Bro, if you don't like it, get the hell out. It's pretty simple. I run the show however I want to run the show. That's it. Simple. Complaining ain't going to get you anything. Yeah, no, Ian, I appreciate you, bro. Damn right I'm going to talk about whatever I want. I'm certainly not going to put up with some asshole that says, oh, I can't stand this talk about this. Oh, this is too much. Well, get the hell out of here, bro. Get lost. Simple. That's all. Complaining about it ain't going to do anything. Hey, There, Leo V. Now you don't even have to share your opinion now. I'm going to make it easier for you. How about that? There. I make it easy for some of you out there, bro. I don't know. Maybe it's a drug. Maybe it's something you don't like, but yet you're still doing it. You know, maybe it's an addiction or something. But you know what? If you can't kick yourself out, I'll do it for you, bro. Pretty simple. There you go. Now you don't need to have an opinion. You don't need to complain anymore because nobody's listening. There you go. That's he lost already, Roadrunner. He lost. All right, let's go with hour number 3 on the program right here on the Big O Radio Show, mastered by Sean Stanley.
South Florida's premier law enforcement agency is now hiring individuals like you. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is now accepting applications for non-certified and certified police officer positions. Minimum requirements and qualifications can be found at flpdjobs.com. That's flpdjobs.com. Are you ready? The city of Fort Lauderdale is an equal opportunity employer. When you're ready to purchase a new home loan or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today, 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The Big O Radio Show is looking for an experienced salesperson in the radio or TV business. The candidate must have at least 5 years of sales experience in the broadcast business over the last 10 years. Please email your phone number and resume to bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. That's bigoradioshow@yahoo.com. Looking for an aggressive person who can help our platform expand into many avenues in our business. Reach out if you are the person that's able to make a difference. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show originates from the OK Coin Studios. Invest a little time and save big. Just set the recurring buy and pay, 0 transaction fee after your first purchase. The Big O Radio Show is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley from the OK Coin Studios. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Numero 3, right here on the program. Hopefully we will get Omar Kelly at some point in this hour. I know he is also at the Combine. He is open to call in at any point in the hour. If he doesn't call in this hour, we will push him back to Wednesday. Okay, so it's up to him. I got his back. Whatever he wants to do, we got it covered either way. By the way, Anthony Chang will join us tomorrow on the program to have a little fun. So we'll talk to Anthony there on the show, baby, and have a little fun. Damn, I missed a chat assassination. Snooze, you lose, I guess. Going Balls Android says Big O clearly very passionate about crypto, so to come on his show and butch about it is kind of suicide. No, it's not really about crypto. It's about anything. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't understand somebody that comes in to complain about the show. Oh, you're talking too much baseball. Oh, you're talking about too much crypto, because it always happens. I'll bring on next week when we start bringing on David Dork or George Richards. There's going to be a guy complaining about me talking about hockey. And it's like, then why are you watching? You know what I mean? It's a sports show. I know Dolphins are the centerpiece. I get it. I've always covered the Dolphins all my life, so I get that. But that doesn't mean we're not going to talk the rest of the NFL. We're not going to talk NBA. We're going to talk Miami Heat. We're going to talk baseball. We're going to talk Marlins. We're going to talk hockey. We're going to talk Panthers. We're going to talk MLS. We're going to talk Inter Miami. We're going to talk crypto. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk guys. We're going to talk girls. We're going to talk whatever. We're going to talk about whatever we do. Guy talk, hot women, you name it, whatever it is. But then the people that come on and want to complain about what we're talking about, the hell you tune in for? So, yeah, that part bothers me. You know why? Because I don't watch or listen to somebody I don't want to watch or listen to. So I don't have to complain about it because I don't watch it. But I don't understand the people that are watching and then complaining about it. So I'll do you the favor and kick your ass out. How about that? Let's do this. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins football with Omar Kelly now. For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Hey, there we go. Obviously, Carl Pinedo has a problem hearing. That'll cost him eventually. All right, Omar. So where are you that you got to be masked up, dude? What's the deal there?
I'm in an Uber in Indianapolis. I'm headed on my way to the convention center at the Combine. Just got off my flight from Miami, so here doing my Combine thing.
Damn, dude, that's dedication right there, bro. There you go. All right. So good Uber. Is he driving fast? Is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. All right. There you
Fast
go. Is it
and safe.
cold? How cold
No, it's
is
not.
it over there?
Nah, it's about
nice?
50, 55. It's decent. It's not as long as it's not snowing, I'm good.
Dude, 55 is like hot and humid there, bro. At this
Yeah,
time
it
of
is.
year.
Yeah. I got my winter jacket on and I'm burning up here.
All right. So, what free agents are you chasing this week? So what? Because the underwears and everybody's running around and all that other stuff. But you and I know the real dirty stuff is going on behind the scenes for free agency during this week. So
Yeah.
what is Omar Kelly focused in on this week on free agency? What do you think the Dolphins are targeting?
I think first you have to have an understanding about what type of team Mike McDaniel wants and was trying to build. And, people, I've been so focused on trying to learn his origins and his roots, because what you don't understand is your origin and your roots kind of dictate what you like and what your makeup is and how you've evolved and how you've grown, who you've learned under. What I do know is they're going to run a West Coast based offense. Primarily, it's just the language. They're going to run a zone blocking scheme, primarily a wide zone blocking scheme, but they're probably not going to be wide if they don't have the athletes to handle it. So that means that they're going to just basically be shopping for a couple of pieces on the offensive line. They're going to be adding a running back who I don't know. Depends on who the scheme is. Depends on basically who fits their scheme, and just figuring out at this point.
Omar, is there a free agent running back that fits that scheme that you're talking about right now? Just out of curiosity.
I think Melvin Gordon would fit the scheme, but I'm not necessarily certain that spending that money, the history of what Mike McDaniels is from, says that I can get it's a back by committee approach, and I can get a back with the fourth pick, and I don't necessarily have to need a stud. I mean, when they went to the Super Bowl, they did it riding a Dolphins practice squad back in Mozart, who happens to be a free agent. So just figuring out what it is that they need, what it is that they're looking for. Obviously, new coaches always want to add some coaches with familiarity with them so that they can come lead the way. So a Lakin Tomlinson, a Mozart, look at guys who are free agents with the 49ers, try to figure out exactly what is this coach trying to establish in year one.
Omar, since you're doing a lot of that studying, I think you've noticed, obviously, in his lines, pulling is like a common thing that happens in that line. Currently, who are the guys that you feel fit that, and is there a guy that you would be worried about that does not fit this? Because you've got to be pretty athletic at times to run some of the schemes that he wants you to run. Yeah,
you have to be athletic, but you also it doesn't require 5 athletic guys, is what I'm told. You could have 3 athletes and 2 plotters. So Lakin Tomlinson is not the most athletic guy, but he made it work in San Francisco. So I'm interested to see where that goes, and I'm sure a lot of it is dependent on what they're asking for, what the money is, who else is in play. As free agency is a moving target. So I think they're going to be players that are on the trade block. Byron Jones, Devontae Parker, and the Dolphins will probably see where they stand with those players. Is there a market? I think the Dolphins are also in the market for players for players who are tradable. So the Amari Coopers, the Calvin Ridleys. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of this combine in terms of you know how it works. How you introduced me to it. The cigar bars and the drinking holes. What comes out of those spots?
Yeah, a lot of information. Oh, I'm missing it. I'll be back next year in the mix with all that stuff. Anyway, this will be the first year in a couple of years that I think you'll actually see coaches maybe out in the bars, because that's the last 2 years. I doubt a lot of people. I doubt a lot of people were hitting the streets in Indy, dude, the last 2 years. Right.
The streets. But yeah, this is, and not only that, but also from what I understand, they've trimmed down the player interviews. Players are only there for basically 48 hours. And so they do 1 day of interviews as opposed to, when players used to do like 3 days of interviews. So a lot of these teams are going to hit it and quit it, locked in and focused. But, the agents are, for those who don't know, the combine is about agents meeting with teams and organizations and selling their players, and talking, discussing price and negotiating. So, that stuff is still going to get done.
Yeah, that and medicals. That's really what the
Yes.
the fan thinks it's about the 40 and
Yeah.
all another crap, and that's the least of their concerns when it comes to the NFL people. They're like, yeah, I don't really care about that, dude. It's like
Yeah.
that's what people don't realize, that the origins of the combine were really about the medicals and meetings. That's really what it all the other fluff stuff just kind of developed, but really it was all about a centralization, a place where everybody could go and then get all the medicals, and everybody could then, get the same information and then move on. That's really what the combine was all about.
The league turned it into a dog and pony show, which is what they call it. The dog and pony show for draft prospects. And these draft prospects think it's like the end all be all, and they spend 3 months and $10,000 training to prepare themselves for this. And while all of it is important, it'll come into play maybe in April. But the reality is March, free agency comes before the draft. And free agency will dictate what these teams do in the draft.
Yeah. No, you're right. And by the way, you enlightened me on something. I did not know that they minimized it for players now that because remember, like they were there the whole week, all 5 days, 6 days. And every day it's like till 11, 12 o'clock that you've done meetings, and it's one after another, and they're really worn out. So it kind of, so they kind of burn them out in a really short window, and then they're out. I did not know that now. That's actually really good for them. That's really good for them, actually.
No, actually, I hear players are not real, because they do everything, every test, everything but the medical and the media is done in one day. So they'll go on the field.
What I mean by is that mentally, by 5-6 days of doing it, you're burnt out by the end. That I'm sure the process kind of gets old in those back end days, and maybe you're not at your best in the interview or anything. But if you're doing it in a 2-day window, you can expend all your energy there and then move on. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That maybe in the big picture might be better for the players to just hit it in a short window and then out. Because man, a week that's a burnout, dude. You've seen it. You've been around those guys. They're toast by the end of the week. Toast.
The only thing is they're not going to be able to talk to as many players as they would have liked. Talk to as many teams as they would like. From what I was told, and I have not confirmed this, each player is probably going to meet with 16 teams officially, and probably 4 will sneak in and sneak a meeting. So about 20 teams, which leaves, still you don't get an opportunity to really spend time with probably about 1/3, if not 1/4 of the prospects that are here.
Yeah, that's why the East-West, the NFLPA, and the
that's exactly right.
That's why they're so important. And the HBCU also, all of those other bowl games, it's so important for you to get all your interviews there and then finish off in the combine. You should be able to get all your guys. But then again, as you and I know, there's also the smoke and mirrors where there's a couple guys you really like and you don't interview really because scouts behind the scenes gathered all the information they needed and they feel confident enough and they don't want to throw any, attention to a certain guy or two.
Yep.
So that game is also being played too.
That is a very important game that you just mentioned. It's there's a cat and mouse game about this whole process. I watch the Dolphins do their little McDaniels and Greer where we worked well together, song Pony and Dance show, and what really bothered me about that conversation was you get the cliche I want guys that love football, and I think that's I'm so tired of hearing that after 15 years. What you should really want is guys who are phenomenal football players, guys who are great leaders, guys who inspire their locker room. I'm a little bit cold and jaded about guys who love football, because we've seen it's never stopped you before in terms of guys who love football. You'll if somebody like Isaiah Wilson, who the Dolphins traded for, how much did he love football before the Dolphins, traded for him last year? So right now, I definitely want to see difference makers. You got Jalen Waddle, you got Jalen Phillips, you got Javon Holland. Those are difference makers, and that's really what you need to focus on in terms of adding to your team.
I'm with you there. All right. Just out of curiosity, is there a free agent already that you're targeting, or two that you think the Dolphins are already interested in, Omar?
I did have some interest in free agents about offensive line, but their makeup is sort of dictating what you need to look for. So we're starting from scratch. So it's very going to be interesting to see what the possibilities are in terms of what they, based on what they're building, what's available. So I think it's a little too early to tell. We sit down and we talk to Mike McDaniel today, and then he talks to all of the combine tomorrow. So after that, I'll probably have a better indication of what's what.
All right, beautiful. We'll talk to you on Friday. We'll see what you've been able to gather after being there for a couple of days, besides a steak from St. Elmo's. So hopefully,
I believe you were the first person who did the St. Elmo's cocktail trick on me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I believe that
lit up like a stop sign.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah, this is my partner, David Furonis' first trip. I'm definitely going to make him have the St. Elmo's cocktail and then enjoy myself.
Yeah, but see, here's where we screwed up. We now told Sean, and now I can't fool Sean on it. So it's like, it sucks. So because I really wanted to go ahead, Sean, dig into that shrimp cocktail, bro. Go ahead. Watch this light up, bro. It feels like there's a ton of wasabi inside that sauce, dude, because it just opens up your sinuses, man. It's a beautiful thing. All right, take pictures of David Furonis taking that first bite, please. Take a video of it, all right?
All right, man. All right. Talk to you later.
Good talk, brother. Be good. There you go, the great Omar Kelly and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report. And it's nice to have all these guys in the combine. So they all got there now. So later on in the week, we will get all their information. And remember, also on Saturday, okay? Because we have a show on Saturday, 11 to 1, as we're out there for the Tyler Van Dyke signing at Caneswear. Remember to get out there to Caneswear. So if you want to go meet Tyler Van Dyke on Saturday, 1 to 3 is the signing. We'll be on 11 to 1 out there and entertaining the crowd, because there'll be a crowd. There'll be a crowd. It's going to be the Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive, will be buzzing on Saturday. We'll be out there. Okay. We need some dogs on the Fins. I think they've got some dogs. What they need is a coaching staff. And let's hope that this is the right coaching staff on the offensive side of the ball, my friend. That's really what it's all about. It's about the coaching staff for the Miami Dolphins. In the end, that's what's going to make. Look, this team has had enough talent over the years to win 8, 9, 10 games. They've done it with different coaches. They do it with Sperano. They do it with Gase. They've done it with Wanstead. They've done it with, Flores. So this is not a team that has lacked talent over the years. The real difference for this team has been the coaching. Okay? And obviously, you got to get a quarterback, too. I believe they have the quarterback. But the quarterback is not going to get anywhere without the coaching, without the pieces in place. Okay? Only Joe Shad feels that Tua doesn't need the pieces in place in order to judge him. Okay? Most of us feel like, well, Tua's doing all right, but he needs a lot of help. And, like any quarterback. You think Dan Marino had enough help? No. He only had so much help. He needed more help in order to win a title. Yes, Dan Marino needed it. That's because every quarterback needs help. So in the end, it's about Mike McDaniel and that staff, because they inherited a 9-10 win team. So wins aren't going to be an excuse for Mike McDaniel. Results are the excuse here. You got to get results. You got to get better results. This is not a rebuild. You are retooling the offense. Your defense and everything else is good enough to be above 500. Prove that you can do better than the prior coaching staff. Prove that your offense is better. Okay? That's the difference now. We're not talking about resetting. We're not talking about rebuilding. We're not talking about the franchise taking a step back. We're talking about the franchise moving forward now. Show me that you can build an offensive line. Show me that you can coach up the offense. Show me that you can put together an offense so the quarterback can excel. Win 11 or 12 games. Get into the playoffs. Make a difference for once in your damn life. That's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. So it's really about the coaching staff. And that's the beauty of the position that they're in now. You know, in years past, we talked about a reset, a rebuild, a setback, all of that. That's not the case here. That's why I'm excited about it, because I like Mike McDaniel. I like what he's about. I love his offense. I mean, I'm the guy that talked all year long. You got to get a running game. You got to get an offensive line so Tua can actually play off of it. Well, now you got the guy. And he brought coaches along that should be good enough to coach up the line. And you got a real quarterbacks coach, a legit quarterbacks coach. And listen, on the flip side of all of this, for all of you Tua disbelievers, including Joe Shad, you got what you wanted now. No excuses, right? Because us Tua-non people, we're all excuses about Tua, right? We don't know what we're talking about. You know, Tua can't play. Tua's too short. He doesn't have an arm for it, all that stuff. We don't know what the hell we're talking about, right? We only know how to make excuses for Tua, correct? So now the excuses are gone. If you got a coaching staff that builds a line and can have a run game, then Tua has everything he needs to succeed from here on out. He's got his quarterbacks coach. He's got the line. There are no more excuses that are in your eyes. For us, they're called needs. For you, they're called excuses. But either way, it solves both of our equations. And now we get to settle actually what goes on the field. And now hopefully Tua can prove people wrong. More importantly, really, in the end, it's not about Tua proving us right, those of us that believe in him. Out. That's all we're going to care about. We're only going to care about them winning. We're going to forget about everything else. We're going to forget about our disagreements. We're going to forget about whether Tua can play or not. We're all going to get over it, and we're all going to get on the bandwagon. You know, some of us have already been on the Tua bandwagon, but I mean, everybody will end up getting on it because in the end, that's all we want. We can all sit there and argue. The people that don't believe in Tua, and I'm talking about the fans, those folks, they just want the Dolphins to win. Now, they may not feel that Tua is the guy, but it's not like if Tua starts playing, they're not going to be happy. They'll be happy. They'll be satisfied because we're all going to be satisfied because we all get to high-five each other, hug each other because the Dolphins finally got their crap together. And that's all we want. Man, we've been waiting for years for the Panthers to get their crap together. And Bill Zito looks like he was the final piece to get their crap together. And now they got it. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this team moving forward. I don't care about the 3-game skid right now, but that's kind of what we're waiting for. You know, the Heat got their crap together the day they hired Pat Riley, and it took off from there. That hasn't been the case for any of the other teams. You know what I mean? Finally, it looks like the Panthers have figured it out and they got their mojo. But that's all we're waiting for, man. We're waiting for the right coach. We're waiting for the right quarterback. We're waiting for that moment that we all feel like, oh, they finally crossed the threshold. They now can be trusted. Welton Realm text line 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056 if you want to get in on the Welton Realm text line. Speaking of Welton Realm, if you do need a pair of lawyers who are just absolute ass kickers, great supporters of the show, obviously, homeowner, property damage, condo damage, which happens a lot, Welton Realm, criminal defense, you got in a little trouble, Welton Realm, business owner claims, Welton Realm, commercial litigation, Welton Realm, personal injury, Welton Realm. See what I'm saying? 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646 for Welt and Realm, and tell them that you heard it here on the Big O Radio Show. Good people. Big Rig says, I'm a proud Tuan. Tua has such great accuracy. He's very smart. I believe he'll show everybody this season. I hope so too, man. If he's got the right people around him, I believe he's got the right coaching, QB coach. They've got to fix the O-line in the running game. They do that, and I think Tua shines. JP on Sports says, my issue with Tua was the durability issue, not the ability issue. That's legitimate. That's always been my only concern with Tua is durability. That's legit, JP. That's not going to change. I won't fault him for the first 2 seasons. No one was developing under that mess. Same goes with the O-line. Exactly. And you know what? I can't even blame him for the ribs. I mean, he got clobbered, dude. Like, it was a blindsided hit that just a lot of people would get hurt with that hit. And that sumbitch came back, man. He's tough. He's tough. He's tough as hell. That is one mentally and physically tough guy. To come back from all the injuries he's come back, and he plays fearless. It's impressive. Blaine Gabbert started his career playing scared in the pocket. I've never seen Tua play scared in his life. Not at Alabama, and not in Miami, and not after every injury. Even the hip injury, which I would be crapping bricks to get back on a NFL field after I have busted up my hip. Got to be honest. And that kid goes in there with zero trepidation, zero doubt. He goes out there and he'll take on a tackler, which don't ever do that again, Tua. Slide, bro. Slide. Please. Don't do that ever again. It tells you how in his mind he just wants to play football. That moment right there, you think about all the injuries he's had. The last thing he should be doing is putting a shoulder and trying to truck somebody. And that's because he doesn't think of the injury. He doesn't think of anything. He thinks of first down, move the chains, make the play, do whatever it takes. He goes Imagine Dragons on you. I'll do whatever it takes. It's a great song, by the way. I like I'm a big Imagine Dragons fan. They are excellent in concert, man. Really, really good. If you're not supporting your team and wanting them to succeed, then you're likely just a curmudgeon in other facts of life. Let this new staff build the offense the way that allows your QB to succeed. I like it. Big O, remember when he trucked that? That's what I'm saying, the Atlanta safety. That's what I'm saying. I don't want him to ever do that again. I don't. Don't do that anymore, Tua, okay? You're not Cam Newton, bro, okay? You're not that guy. You're not built like a Peterbilt truck. Cam Newton can run people over and hurt them. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that from Tua. He's the guy that could get hurt doing that kind of stuff, Slide. Every quarterback in the world, slide. Don't take on tacklers. Don't go Gus Farad and go headbutt the wall he did, right? It was the wall and he got concussed. For those of you that don't know, because you might be too young, Gus Farad got it. I don't know how long ago it was, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. Gus Farad, in his inspiration, headbutts, I believe it was the wall, and he ends up giving himself a concussion. It's like watching Jimmy Garoppolo take on a tackler and blow out a knee. And it's like, are you stupid? Run out of bounds, bro. No contact. So, yes. Tua, don't do that again. Don't ever do that. No more. Oh, man. But so many QBs got injured and missed games. The durability doesn't concern me, one guy says. You think about it. I even the rib injury, in the first 2 years playing behind that line, I just think a lot of people would have gotten injured. Big O, did you literally fluff pillows during commercials in actual fluff time? Did I fluff pillows during commercials in actual fluff time? I don't know. I don't even know what the hell is going on with that question, to be honest with you. Newfoundland says, JP on Sports says he's tougher than a manager's special steak. The hip injury ended Bo Jackson's career. They were a little different. All injuries were fluke ones. None were chronic. I'll give him that too. Yeah, they were. He hung on to the ball a little too much sometimes because he's trying to make a play. And he's got to learn to get rid of it quickly. And certainly don't ever take on a tackler. Slide. Okay? Slide. I never heard of a QB breaking his hip. Well, it was Neil Lomax. If I remember correctly, Neil Lomax had a knee injury. I know some of you out there are young. Let me see if I'm right. But Neil Lomax played for he played for the Arizona Cardinals. It says the Indianapolis Colts were planning the 2011 season back in February, March, and April. They were counting on a healthy Peyton Manning to lead them to the Super Bowl back then. Of course, every NFL franchise, some appears to be mostly injury-free, while others are besieged with one major injury after another. Injuries are part of the game. Well, all right, we want to take a look at the most devastating injuries. Arizona Cardinals. In the history of the Cardinals, the most devastating injury goes to Neil Lomax. Lomax made a couple of Pro Bowls with the Cardinals, but the wear and tear on his legs, body caught up with him, and his injuries became bad enough that he was replaced by Gary Hogeboom in 1989. Lomax prematurely had to retire from football in 90 due to an arthritic hip. Lomax's hip was so bad that he wound up getting hip replacement surgery the following year. So Lomax took so many hits there that he ended up with hip surgery. There you go. So since you've never, and they're not the only two quarterbacks. There have been others. I'm just, Lomax came to my mind right away because I remember that Neil Lomax had the hip injury, but I would not be surprised if there's another one or two that I may be forgetting right now. And it's happened before, but it has happened before that, you take hits all the time on the hip. And look at Bo Jackson. He was getting tackled by the bottom of his legs, and that's what ended up dislocating that hip. And Bo Jackson, well, you talk about a physical specimen. I don't know if there's anything more than Bo Jackson. I mean, that's like the epitome of physical specimen. And that guy dislocated his hip. And there was a circulation problem with that. And if I remember correctly with Bo, and that's why the hip was never going to be the same again. And that was something that they were concerned with Tua, but it did not happen. Everything went well. And so the injury was different than the one Bo had. Or obviously Neil Lomax, who probably took so many hits that eventually you get tackled, you're landing on it, tackled, you're landing on it, tackled, you're landing on it, and it could easily end up being a chronic issue down the line. Or you can absolutely blow it out. Ironically, Fitz hurt his hip last year. That's right. It was a hip injury. You're right. Fitzpatrick did suffer a hip injury last year, and he was out for the year. That is absolutely correct, sir. Let me see. Let me make sure. And let's see. Yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick is set to have arthroscopic surgery on his injured hip, which will end this 2021 season. So, yeah, you are right. There you go. There's another one. See? And that was recent. So when Luke says, I've never heard of a QB breaking his hip, there you go. It happens, man. I mean, it's football. It's a brutal ass sport. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it happened. And it has happened many, many times over. Did you guys see the Zion float? Did you guys catch this? Did you catch this, Sean? The Zion float? So they had a parade in New Orleans. And in the parade in New Orleans, they had a float. And this float. There you go. Setback, it's called. One ton. Supersized, 1 ton. He's got a sub in one hand. I mean, it's just, God, the Zion Williamson thing has become, he's the new hot plate Williams. He's going to eat his way out of the league. The Dolphins had a cornerback out of Auburn named Jackson who ate his way out of football. And he was a good football player, by the way. And he ate his way out of the league. You know, Keith Traylor started as a safety, ate his way into linebacker, ate his way into defensive end, and ate his way all the way to defensive tackle. That's a big-ass safety, okay? Now, he was able to stay in the game as he ate his way into other positions, which is freakish to go from safety to linebacker to defensive end to tackle. And by the way, he was good at all of them. Okay, shows you the kind of superb athlete that Keith Tractor Trailer was. Okay, that shows you how special that guy is. But Zion Williamson is literally eating his way out of the NBA. And how do you trade that fat ass? I mean, only the Heat can straighten his ass out. I don't think there are a lot of situations that are going to straighten that kid out. He's lazy. And you can't give much up for him either. So I don't know what they would ask for him if they were going to trade for him, but clearly they don't want him there. I don't care whether he wants to be there or not. He looks soft to me. As big and athletic, as powerful he can play, he looks like a soft guy to me, man. Wow. I mean, you get some pretty nice talent in Anthony Davis, who's also soft. And now you get this guy, soft. What a shame for New Orleans, man. There's no way that you can ever, create basketball buzz in that town ever with that franchise. You can't get it right. You can't keep stars. And you make the mistake of drafting the wrong guys. You have to get a guy that is truly committed and is truly a professional, which obviously Zion Williamson, his fat ass, lacks total professionalism in everything. You're supposed to be a world-class athlete, dude. They're paying you to be that. And there's no way he'll ever get healthy with that weight problem. He plays with too much force. He's going to end up injured constantly. And by the way, Mob Rule, okay, may not know. He knows nothing about crypto, but at least he came up with a strong line today that today is Fat Tuesday. So that's way to go. I like that. Anyway, Big O, whatever happened to Corey Jenkins? The safety? Corey Jenkins, I think it was the safety, right? Corey Jenkins, if I'm correct, he had a cobra, a tattoo cobra on his chest. The tail circled his belly button, and then he had the cobra going up his chest. And I know because, I was in the locker room, and Corey was a really cool guy, really nice guy, decent player too. He always used to say, "Can't make the club in the tub." I mean, that was a saying around football always, but he used to say like all the time. Anybody that was injured or whatever, he was like, "Can't make the club in the tub." Jenny Craig can. I don't know, Luke. Or I don't think that guy is going to work on Jenny Craig. He can be a talk show host, but you can't be. You want to be a world-class basketball player, you can't be a fat ass, bro. You just can't. And looking how Ja Morant is playing, Pelican fans have to be saying to themselves, "What the hell did we do to deserve this?" I was a Ja Morant guy, so I'm gonna take my props, baby. I was anti-Zion when he came out. I did not like Zion. I said I'm taking Ja Morant every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And sure enough, he's been the better player. I took him in my fantasy league too. So I believed in Ja Morant. I love Ja Morant coming out of school. I was not a Zion guy. I was not a Zion believer. And so far, I have been 1,000% right on Zion Williamson. But it is a shame because he is blessed with the talent. Okay? The good Lord, gave him a gift, gave him an edge, as you see there. That's what the good Lord did. He gave Zion Williamson the ultimate edge. He gave him athleticism and size that very few people ever have. But unfortunately, Zion Williamson did not take that present and use that edge to become the monster that he could possibly be. It's the sad part about guaranteed money, ladies and gentlemen. When you make the money and you didn't have to earn it, and you look at it and it came that easy, and look, he's going into year 3 right now, and he's making all that money for nothing whatsoever. Meanwhile, Ja Morant is playing his ass off, leading his team. Big O, I swear I wish I could have met Mark Duper, though. Clayton was so effing cool at Tamiami. Well, they're both cool. They're both good guys. I've met both, interviewed both. I've gotten to interview Duper a little bit more because I run into Duper in Mobile when I go over for the Senior Bowl. Hopefully next year when we start going back to our trips, we'll see him there. Paul says I was in Oakland and Bo was in left field a runner tagged up from third. He threw him out at home, the edge of the track on a fly. Well, Bo Jackson had the edge on everything, bro. Bo Jackson might be the greatest athlete I've ever seen in my life. You know, Dion is a close second, but I'm going with Bo. Bo is the better player all around, the better athlete all around. They were both great football players. Bo was the better baseball player. Bo was the better athlete, period. Bo is the most freakish athlete I have ever seen in my entire life. You know, somebody older than me is probably going to go Jim Brown, but I have to go Bo Jackson in my eyes. Freakish athlete I have ever seen in my life. When he ran up on the side of the wall after catching a fly ball in baseball, it's like, are you kidding me, dude? That guy is awesome. Big O, Greta Van Fleet, 1025 Seminole Hard Rock Hollywood. Really? By themselves? They're coming on the month of my birthday on October 25th. I'm there. I did not see that, Mike. I got to get those tickets. You know I'm there, bro. I flew up to go see Greta with Metallica. I'll go fly to see Metallica anywhere, but you give me Greta Van Fleet and Cage the Elephant. Wow, what a concert that was. That was such a good concert. That was such an awesome concert. I would fly to that concert anywhere in the world. So good. Metallica is so good live, man. God, they are awesome live. Big O, how are you going to celebrate the Dolphins Super Bowl win in 2024? I'm going to celebrate it with all of you in Arizona. That's what I'm going to do. And by then, crypto will be through the roof. So we'll be, living the high life there, dude. For sure. No doubt about that. Bo Prime in terms of talent, easily. Oh, yeah. Omar says, don't smoke weed now at the Metallica concert. It might destroy your brain cells. Okay. But you're smoking in another place and it doesn't? Chest Rockwell says, St. Elmo's killer. It is. It is awesome. I will admit that. You guys see Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa are back? Apparently Jason Momoa might have cheated on Lisa Bonet or something. Now they're back together again. Did you guys see Iggy Azalea? Now, Iggy Azalea has a big ass, right? So Iggy apparently had a operation to get an even larger ass. Okay? So here is Iggy in all her glory. All right? And watch her turn around, because apparently she added a lot to the badunkadunk. And she had a decent badunkadunk. I'm not necessarily an Iggy Azalea fan. I am a fan of badunkadunks. I'm Latin. What do you want me to do? Mesmerized? All right. There you go. I'm just saying. And if the site freezes, it freezes right on ass. I mean, that kind of helped me right there. McGotsavolia says, sheesh. George Albany says, sorry, but that's nasty. I bet you it is when she unveils the black thing that she has on, and she whatever those pants are called or whatever the hell those things are, I I don't think it's going to look good when it's on the loose. Yeah, I'm with you there, George. I'm with you there. Liba says she has a giant onion back there. My type of girl. Hunter Butler with the first super chat of the day. When the Dolphins win a Super Bowl, I'm getting a tat. Okay. All right. A tattoo I can see. Why not? That makes a lot of sense. So there you go. That's the kind of bootay we're talking about right there. Nature B is for me, baby. 27 vitamins and amino acids, 28 minerals, powerful antioxidants. It powers me all day long. And my favorite thing I tell you all the time, boosting that immune system. And you know we live in a world where we got to protect ourselves, right? A virus-filled world. People are coughing and sneezing and wheezing all over the place in the office, in the bus, on the subway, wherever you are in the world. You can get yourself a little Nature B. That's right. Nature B is for me. The power of pollen right there, baby. Order it. Boom. Nature B. 30-day supply, 60-day supply, 90-day supply, free shipping. All you got to do is put in the code Big O, natureb.com. Lots of products, by the way. I love the lip balm. I have the lip balm. I use it all the time. The soaps. Pretty soon I'm not gonna have these samples anymore because I'm gonna have them in the bathroom. But these soaps smell delicious. They are awesome, by the way. And what you're gonna love about the plant pollen, it is pure plant pollen, made in clean green New Zealand. You know who makes it? Mother Nature, not some dude in a lab coat. No, that's not going on. It's all natural, 100%. You know how good Nature B is? I want you to do this with any other vitamin or medicine or anything else. Break the capsule and pour the powder directly into your mouth. And you know how normally, you're going to go in Nature B. Oh, hey, that tastes good. Wow. That's how good it is. That's how natural it is. It comes from clean green New Zealand. So it's great for the kids. It's great for everyone at home. And the kids, they're going to school with a whole bunch of those nasty colds and all that other stuff going on with kids. You know how they spread it. So natureb.com. All right. Buy the power of pollen and boost that immune system. Use the code Big O. Get free shipping. All right. Free shipping. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Very important to smash the like button for us. All right. Let me see what we got on the Welt and Rayom text line at 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. Greetings, Big O. Just wanted to share with you part of the conversation I had last night with a fly on Greer's wall during a meeting with Flo. Pretty much this happened around the time the Deshaun Watson crap was happening. Flo not only didn't want or like Tua, but was lobbying hard for Watson. Greer brought him into the office. The conversation got heated. Greer told him, "Do you really think you can do my effing job? Know your place and stay in your lane." Flo butthurt asked to meet with Stephen Ross to complain about Greer and lobby Ross on Watson. This set the wheels in motion to terminate Flo. So, yes, you were right again. Flo's coaching career with the Finns was over at the beginning of the season. Regardless of the season's outcome at the end, it was Greer-Flo issue that had him out. Also, by the way, Duke Johnson is coming back. Thank you for keeping it real. So there you go. I don't know if any of that or whatever, but there you go. That's a listener chiming in. Appreciate it, as always. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that article on the Sean Payton and Tom Brady. I don't believe any of it. Let's see. Oh, have you heard a female on Perdomo commercial? Okay, I will check it out on our Perdomo commercial. I guess he didn't like something about her Perdomo commercial. We will check it out. Big O, would you have draft Big O merch? Maybe. Maybe our merch might be ready by then. We got a couple of technical issues that we're trying to resolve, and then we will move forward with it. But we could be close to that. Okay. Willie Duper Molina says she could fart in my face. That would be a big fart by Iggy Azalea. Just saying. Willie is a man of culture. That's all culture right there. If you had the 5th pick again, would you take Herbert? And if you say no, you're lying, Big O. Okay. First of all, you can't play the hindsight game. And as I said on the day of the draft, I wasn't going to take a quarterback at 5. I would have taken a position player at 5, is what I would have done at 5. Remember that. While I like Tua and believe that he can play, his injury history is the one thing that scared me at 5. And I wasn't a Herbert guy because of the, what's it called? The nature of him being a loner and an introvert and all that kind of stuff. So I was worried about that. And by the way, I'm still worried about that with Justin Herbert. All right. Say what you want, my brother. Did he make the playoffs? He had a chance to beat Houston. He had a chance to cut the score to one score. What'd he do? He threw a pick 6. I haven't seen Justin Herbert win anything significant in college or in the pros. So I'm not sure yet what. I get it. Yes, you got to take Justin Herbert based on the size and the arm. That's it. The resume, it's not even close. That's the problem with this whole discussion. You guys are still leaning on potential, and I'm going by what I've already seen. I've already watched him win a national championship. I've already watched him perform at a high level in pressure situations. I have yet to see that from Justin Herbert. Haven't seen it yet. He looks great out there on the runway. He's on the all-runway team. He looks fantastic. Nothing in his resume says champion. Nothing in his resume says, oh, I lift teams and I win in key moments. None of it. And he lost to Tua head-to-head. He had a better team this year, better coaching staff, and he couldn't win more games than an injured Tua. I don't know, dude. I just, I get it. You got to take Herbert based on size and the arm strength. Of course you take Herbert. I get it. But the resume? Please show me. Show me the games. Show me any championships. Show me playoffs. Show me something that really convinces me that matches the ability that I see from the kid. That's still what I need to see from Justin Herbert, and I haven't seen it. Reminds me a lot of Jared Goff in a way that he looks good when everything's going well, and then when things aren't there, I need to see that. And I've been telling you this from day one. Herbert clearly, physically, is superior to Tua by miles. We all know that. Logic tells you that. I still haven't seen him perform at an incredibly high level in big moments. And that's what I need to see. I didn't watch him beat any SEC teams in college. I never watched him win a national championship. I never watched him even sniff a national championship. So, got to show me, man. Got to show me. That's the thing. So I get it that you fall in love with Herbert's size and arm. It's really easy. The ability is there. Match it with the winning, and then we can talk. Then I'll tell you, yeah, it was a major mistake. But right now, I'm not on that yet. Doctors got Tua fast, which was very important. I agree, that Tua has to get that ball gone and quit trying to make every play. skip Herbert this defense, we make the playoffs. Okay, our Blanco, give Tua the offensive line that Herbert had, the running game he had, and the wide receivers, and you're in the playoffs also. Oh, and by the way, the coaching. That's the difference. That's it. See, the difference, RB Blanco. See, here's where I have an argument and you have zero. He had the better team and didn't make the playoffs, dude. What's your excuse now, RB Blanco? What is all of your excuses? Herbert had the better line, the better running game, the better coaches, the better team, and he didn't make the playoffs. So what's the excuse? So what's the excuse? Please help me out. If he's so good, and if he's so much more better than Tua, he had everything better than Tua. He had the better team, period. And he didn't make the playoffs. So tell me, RB Blanco, what's the excuse? What's the excuse? Chargers defense was so bad. Oh, Lordy. Let's see. Let's go with NFL defensive rankings. Let's see how much of a difference was there in 2021 between those two, because Miami was like 18th or something like that. 16th, 18th. Let me see here. Where were we here? I want to check it. Oh, this is, I hate when they start using color and just give me the damn stats. There we go. Just stack it up. They start putting pictures and all that stuff. All right. So let's see where we at here. Where are the Chargers? Where are the Chargers? The Chargers and the Dolphins. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Miami, let's see, 30. They were 23. 23 to 17. That much of a difference, dude? The Dolphins allowed 343 yards per game. The Chargers, 360. The points per game, the Dolphins allowed 21.9. The Chargers, 27. Now let's check the offense. Let's see, right? 17 to 23. Now let's check the offensive stats. Right? Let's do that now. You know, because it's such a huge difference. You know, such an enormous difference, as some of you like to point out there. You know, so on offense, let's see. Miami was 25. The Chargers were 4th in the NFL. What you got now, RB Blanco? 17 to 23 on defense, 4 to 25 on offense. You ever do any homework, RB Blanco? Ever? Before you open your mouth? You know what that's called? It's called the mic drop on your ass, RB Blanco. Learn football, baby. 25 to 4. Not 23 to 17. 25 to 4. Okay? I think that's an enormous difference. You know? But that's all right, bro. You go ahead and join Joe Shad and, you know, be completely unfair and treat one guy one way and the other guy the other way. Oh, and by the way, Tua beat Herbert head to head. So, what can I tell you? Chargers do not ask. Chargers do not ask Herbert to manage the game. Tua can't play in that style. He needs everything around him to be perfect. To win what, bro? What are you talking about? I'm not exactly sure. It's all imperfect, and he wins the same amount of games as Herbert. RB Blanco, dude, just shut up already. Just shut up, dude. Just stay quiet. Just don't say anything anymore. Okay? Just don't say anything anymore, bro. Because you're sounding stupid now. So the guy has less to work with, right? And he wins the same amount of games. And he beat him head to head. There's nothing. You got nothing, dude. Just shut up already. That's all. You're just better. Just shut up already. That's all. Just say, I'm completely biased and I don't like Tua, and that's it. No matter what. But don't compare it to the Herbert situation because it makes you sound stupid. The 25th offense to the 4th. You said, their defense was terrible. 17-23 is not much of a difference. 25-4 is an enormous difference when you're in the bottom end of the offense in the league and you're in the top end, top 5 in the league in offense. Come on, man. All right. Not hating on Tua. The NFL world has questions about this guy. NFL questions has about everybody. It's a big deal. There's questions. I have questions about Herbert. None of you can answer. What's he won? Where does he carry teams to, like, big games and big moments? What did he dominate in college? Nothing. You have nothing to sell. You have no argument with Justin Herbert. He just looks great. He hasn't won a goddamn thing, but he looks great. He's fantastic. He can throw it 100 yards. He's got great hair. He's athletic. He can run around. Hasn't won a goddamn thing, but he's fantastic. But hasn't won a goddamn thing, but he's awesome. But hasn't won a goddamn thing, but he's fantastic. So is Ryan Tannehill. He's great, too, when everything's going perfect. Yeah. Wow. All right, we're out here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We thank Joe Shad, Manny Navarro, Omar Kelly. Anthony Chang will join us tomorrow. We'll have some fun with him. We'll talk a little Heat basketball. We will work on a couple of other guests also for you on Wednesday when we will rock and roll. Sean Stanley getting it done. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.